In a world in crisis, can three idiots find hope in the darkest of places? Will love conquer all, or will hate win out in the end? This is a show called Hate.
Well, hello and welcome to A Show Called Hate, a podcast in which we explore love, hate, and everything in between in search of greater meaning and perhaps a little perspective. I'm John.
I'm Nick.
I'm Chris.
That's your best one, yeah.
That was good.
Comedy gold.
And you're wearing a cap, so you look a bit like a movie man, like a direct.
Yeah, you look a bit like Joss Whedon.
I bought this cap.
That's not a good thing.
I bought this cap last weekend from a shop.
From a
You bought a cap from a shop?
I went to a shop and I bought a cap in person.
What does it
Did
say?
you go... Yeah, go on.
No, what does it say on
I
it?
don't know.
Oakley.
Oakley.
That's a brand.
The brand name.
I used to own a pair of Oakley shorts, and I find this funny because you own an Oakley hat, and I owned Oakley shorts. And that's the joke. No, and they're a sunglasses brand.
Are they?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
But neither of us bought sunglasses.
No,
So look at
that is funny.
That's funny, isn't it?
That is kind of funny.
That's the kind of comedy you can expect for the rest of this episode.
That's the level we're at tonight.
I watched the new OK Go video.
Oh, it's a great
last
video.
night, and I've since watched it many times. It is.
Are they still doing fun things?
They are.
Yes, you might have thought that maybe every idea had been done, but no, they find new and
They're very
increasingly
creative.
expensive ways to.
Definitely this time. Fuck me. I don't know how much that cost.
It's very good though.
It's very good.
I'm quite charmed by it. You know.
Yes,
But speaking of branding and shades,
and hats.
they did like a making of,
Oh, did they? Oh, I need to see this.
but it was on a different channel called the Institute of Project Management or whatever.
Sounds really boring, John.
And
IPM?
Indeed, and I think I know where some of the money came from because all the title is like "Go behind the scenes" on the new OK Go video with the new Ray-Ban Meta sunglasses. So
That's a shame.
yeah, so the whole point is that like the behind the scenes stuff is filmed
they
by
got
someone
sponsored.
wearing a camera glasses.
I can't believe those, because those have been out for a little while now. These Ray-Ban working with Meta glasses that
yeah.
are also kind of cameras and maybe kind of a phone, but also not. I don't know. That ties into my point is that they've been out for a while, but nobody seems to care.
What's the point of that? What's the point
Yep,
of that?
yep.
Yep.
But what? Seriously? Like, what are they used for?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
No, you see, no,
But you must. Do you know what I mean? It's
you're-
like you must be consciously filming something.
you're coming at this from a 20th century
Oh,
mindset.
sure, yeah.
Yeah, where tech used to solve a problem.
Child of the 90s.
Whereas now we just make shit and try and
Presumably
sell it
it's
to
so people
idiots.
can film themselves doing something from their own point of view.
Yeah.
Well,
But
imagine cooking videos.
Mm.
Fuck you. How about that?
Yeah, but do I need to see? But do I need to see someone's point of view whilst they're cooking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also,
Why?
but
The best angle of that.
Yeah. But isn't there also a reason why professional cameramen don't strap a camera to their
Yeah.
head? Because also,
Because your head's moving around all the fucking time.
yeah,
I mean, that just sounds like a mess.
yeah,
I think the only way glasses as a sort of piece of tech, phone replacement thing, is going to be any good is if they can like put a screen into your vision.
Mm.
So it's like AR, it's like overlaid, right? They can't do that.
No.
These can't do that.
yeah.
And even if they could, I feel like someone gets killed by that quite quickly.
What do you mean? Like they walk into a car or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Or, you know.
Well, Google, like 10
Google
years
Glass.
ago, the Google Lens.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember that? It was
No, Google Glass.
yeah. No,
Because
which
Google
one?
Lens is an app.
Oh, sorry, yeah,
yeah,
Google Glass. Yeah,
was that
yeah.
awful thing over one eye.
Yeah, and it was like, and I remember
Oh,
like
yeah,
seeing
I do remember
videos of
that.
people using it, and it was like a use case, and it's like a guy like feeding his baby, but he's also in like a meeting. He's like, yes, yeah, yeah, of course.
You can still do the meeting. You don't have to wear that. You can just be on a normal webcam.
Correct.
No, I don't.
It's no different.
No, because
Yeah.
your boss will fire you if he finds out you're a father.
But how are you? But why?
You're a father?
The Google Glass. How is he not broadcasting what he's doing because he's
I
wearing an
don't
eyepiece?
know, I don't
Just
know.
turn your fucking camera off.
Best
If
not
that's
think
what
about
you're
it.
doing.
Best not think about it.
Yeah, but
That
this is
doesn't make
everything.
any sense.
This is everything now, isn't it? It's like we made a thing. Is it Is it viable? Well,
Doesn't matter.
that's a problem for marketing to solve,
yeah.
isn't it? Yeah.
That's for the consumer to decide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're bringing it out anyway.
But I think the only merit, if you will, with these glasses is that you can like tap them and take a photo from what you're seeing. So if you look the Leaning Tower of Pisa and go clack, then you'll get a lovely picture of the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
Right. Okay.
If you're not there, you won't get a picture of it.
Here's the thing about taking pictures. Pointless. There's a lot of pictures of everything now.
If I want to picture Leaning Tower of Pisa, I'll go on Google, I'll search Leaning Tower of Pisa.
And you'll get an
respell it.
AI generated.
Yeah. You'll get a load of people.
2 Pisas.
Yeah. You'll get a load of pictures of people pretending to like hold it up but being way off.
Which is actually very funny.
That is quite funny.
Yeah.
When we went to New York, some woman went, "Oh, ladies and gentlemen, you might want to get your cameras out now because here's the..." But in an American accent. Here's the Empire State.
Horrible.
Here's the Empire State Building, and it's like, but why?
Why would I take?
Why do I need a picture of the Empire State Building?
Yeah.
There's loads of them.
Imagine.
I can just look at it. I can just look at it with my fucking eyes and Google it later if I really want to.
Imagine taking a picture of the Empire State Building on your phone. Why? Going home and just scrolling.
Hey, yeah,
through
it is my picture of the Empire State
28
Building.
pictures of the Empire State.
So what? So what?
It's the weirdest thing.
Hey, Janine!
So what?
Janine, look at my photos. Look at this.
There's a lot of
I'm not in a single one, but they're all buildings you can easily Google with a better quality camera having taken that picture.
It's so true.
I think the big failing here is Nick, you started your counterpoint by saying, imagine. I just want to stop you there.
Yeah, cool.
There is no incentive to imagine anymore.
Certainly not.
Yeah.
No, it's pointless.
Not when we have an app that can do it for you.
Yeah. Well, indeed. Yeah. We're living in the AI-generated future.
I prefer the idea of people wearing glasses to a gig than holding their phones up at a gig to take pictures.
Well.
Nobody wants to see your footage of a gig. We've gone over this before. Nobody wants to see your footage of anything that's surrounded by high-definition cameras. So, by all means, take the glasses if it means you're not going to hold up phones at a gig.
I remember seeing some footage of a gig, and it's just someone in the crowd looking out over a sea of people filming the band on the stage. But then one guy's holding his DS up in the air, and he's playing Mario Kart, and then he wins, and he comes first, and the whole crowd goes, "Woo!"
That is quite funny.
That's fucking
That's
brilliant.
funny.
They're not even watching the band anymore, they're just watching him.
No one wants to watch the band.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah. Yeah, well, good for them, I suppose, if you want to sell some glasses, do whatever you want.
If you had like a set of like designer glasses.
Now, can you see through these glasses?
You can.
No, you can't.
Are these like... Yeah, but
no, they are black.
But if I needed glasses, could
Oh,
I
I
get
see what you
lenses
mean.
to match?
I
kind of
can
thing?
only assume.
I guess so. Yeah, because I think like it's just
I
glasses.
wouldn't put it past
but
them to not have any glass in them whatsoever.
that's a very good point,
and it's
actually.
just for
Yeah.
posers.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
I don't know anymore. I guess my point was going to be if one of the features is you can just tap and it takes a picture. How would you have any frame of reference for how that image is framed?
That's so true.
You wouldn't. And because phone cameras are still very blurry at the best of times, it would probably look terrible.
The hope would be it would be an incredibly wide-angle lens.
Yeah.
And it would be incredibly high resolution, which it won't be.
It won't
Yeah.
be. Yeah.
And then you could crop it, I guess, after the fact to be whatever you wanted it to be.
Yeah, I suppose.
It's like I have loved ones who have a number of security cameras around their house.
Yeah.
And
Tell me which ones and how many.
and where?
Just put that on the podcast.
in the interest of security, obviously.
Indeed, quite, yeah.
Uh,
That's why I want to know.
And my general perspective is to what end? Because if someone were to, heaven forfend, break into my house,
Yes.
why would I want to celebrate the occasion by having footage of two men in hoodies that will not stand up in court?
Yeah.
Because the resolution is lower
The
than the Game Boy
resolution's
camera.
so awful. So this doesn't prove one single thing.
Bring it out at Christmas. Oh, let's get the highlight reel out. Oh,
Is there such a thing as anti-proof? Does it work as an alibi for them? That is so clearly not me that I think I'm absolved of all crimes from hereafter.
No, you're quite right.
You're quite right. Go home.
Yeah.
Your Honour, I'd like to contend that the 4-bit hooded ghoul in that room could literally be any person. It's like, it's a fair point.
That is true.
Yeah. Yeah, I just like... I can understand, like, I mean, like, having, like, if you have like a Ring doorbell or something, it's good to know if you've got a delivery coming in, or, you know,
quite.
Or if someone's stealing that delivery.
yeah. But
Yes.
it's like,
That's quite a good quality camera, though, a Ring doorbell.
Yeah.
Not that I have one, but
Well, I've got one, and it's okay.
it's reasonable.
Even someone right up close to it there's still an element of estimation with regards to how they look.
They look like a photo fit.
Yeah.
yeah.
A little.
In the same way, I feel that, like, and I hope my insurance provider isn't listening, but like,
Hello, John.
my thinking is sometimes
It's me, Admiral Insurance.
I work for Go Compare. After my stint in the Navy, but like I wouldn't leave, say, my front door open. I wouldn't leave a big
wise.
window open. But if I had a tiny like box window, which is maybe like 6 inches across, and I leave that open while I go out, my thinking is if a burglar can get through that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, fair play, mate. Like
Yeah, good on you.
Yeah, you've earned it.
I always think that.
That's why I leave a beer out
So-
for him.
Yeah. like Santa Claus.
Like milk and cookies, yeah.
Yeah. I always think that if you want it enough, go on. You might as well have that particular item. Not anything good.
That particular
Yeah.
item.
If it's like something shit and they've like climbed over, a wall that's on fire or something to get there.
you
Go on then.
Do you remember there was a
Or an
very
old bicycle.
I don't know what channel it was on. It was on terrestrial British TV back in the day.
Terrestrial.
Very short-lived and very poorly conceived show where it was hosted by an ex-con.
Oh.
The whole point, he was like, I've done time inside.
I know what
but-
it's like.
but
I've lived both sides of
Yeah.
this.
But now I'm reformed. I'm helping law-abiding citizens stay ahead of scum like me.
It's another way of saying I've become a grass. It's just
Weird that you referred to yourself as scum in that scene.
So it's called scum like me. But the
I know, I'm the worst of the worst.
hello,
I'm a real piece of shit.
I'm alright, Johnny come lately, I've done it all. Yak. Trafficking.
Kicked a cat.
You name it, I've done it. And
You
I've also
name it.
stepped over my own grandmother to do it. And I'd step over yours as well.
But the point of the show, you can
What
see.
was the point of the show?
Well, this is my point. You can see the producers. I just feel so. All I can see are the cogs behind the scenes. The gimmick was they get a nice, well-meaning, unassuming couple, and they'd film like a 5-minute segment with them where they go like, "Oh, I do worry about home security, but I think we take the right precautions.
We've got it covered."
And then it's like Deborah and John are going away for a weekend, and now it's Harry's turn.
Yeah.
And Harry comes in, and they'd film him, and he would show, for educational purposes, how easy it was to break into a house.
And he'd break into Deborah
Yeah.
and John's house.
So he'd literally go like, a couple of sharp kicks, and he would kick the door in. So now,
Couple of sharp kicks in the right place, I can open any house up.
Unless you have like an armoured house, though. It's,
Crack like an egg, I said.
if
Crack
the house
like
is
an egg.
empty and you're on holiday,
Yeah.
it's easy. It's easy
Yeah,
to break
yeah,
into anybody's house.
Yeah.
What I'm hoping is...
All you need is a fucking hammer.
All I'm hoping is...
all you need is realistically.
Yeah, I'm just hoping I've cultivated the exterior of my house to an extent that people don't think it's worth their time.
Yeah.
nah, I better move on, Dave.
He won't have anything
He's
in
got
there.
problems enough as it is.
Yeah.
If I break in, all I'll be doing is helping him.
I've spent £35,000 to make the front of my house look like absolute shit.
Get this. It works.
Get this. I haven't been robbed for 5 months.
But like, literally just to drive it home though, that show, I remember that they'd bring the family back in.
To their wrecked, ruined house.
And I just remember this like incredibly awkward scene where he'd just be like, yeah, so what I've done, right, is you see how your door's in splinters, the door frame, right? Yeah, a couple of kicks, bang.
Clean off the edges.
It's right in here. Came in here, didn't need to smash the mirror, but I thought I would,
Yeah.
Why
not?
And then it's
Why
going
not?
like, and then it's horrified nodding, and then it's like, yeah, well, it's really enlightening. I guess I've learned something.
Thanks
here
so
today.
much.
And like Chris says, what can you do?
Yeah.
Short of having like a barn door protocol where like shutters come down.
Literally, if someone really wants to get in,
Yeah,
any house, anywhere, unless it's like gated or armoured, you're fucked.
yeah.
You're fucked.
So
Yeah.
don't bother.
Right, yeah, I mean, really, like in the grand scheme of things, you know,
Just
So if any robbers are listening, fucking pick a challenge.
get a hammer.
Because getting into my house would be well easy.
Yeah,
so
don't
go
bother.
somewhere else where
No
it's a bit of a
point.
challenge.
No point.
Treat yourself to a challenge on me.
Nothing there. No
Yeah.
point.
Don't even
Go
try.
to someone's gated community
Yeah.
and try your luck there.
Yeah.
Because they've got something that's worth
That'll be
protecting.
not only will that be a challenge, but also they'll have something worth stealing.
Yeah.
We have in Cool Town. We have a couple of like
okay.
high-end estates.
We do, don't we?
Like
Very, very richy people.
there's an area called well, they chose to move there. I don't mind naming it. Battle Down.
I can't believe
Yes.
it's called Battle Down.
Battle
There's a
Down.
brewery
It
there.
sounds
too.
badass.
It
but
does sound
isn't.
badass, isn't it? Yeah.
You wouldn't dare go there.
And it's
the rob.
it's up a big hill.
And they've got big old gates, haven't they?
Mansions. Proper, like every house is like custom built, and it's private roads and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, there's some proper. I mean, there's proper posh areas here, but there's also some shitty areas.
Oh
It's
my
all
God.
relative,
Oh,
obviously.
I got it all,
A
yeah.
shit area in Cool Town is not as shit as a shit area in Milton Keynes. Let's say.
Oh, we've got it all.
Yeah, no, the entire
but it's
spectrum.
not
Of,
great. You
No.
know what I mean?
no, but it's just weird. Like I
honestly don't know if I would feel more secure if I had all of that though.
no.
Because I've thought about this before, and I'm like, if you have a special gate and a private road and
Yeah.
38 CCTV cameras, like it's literally painting a target, isn't it? Because even like it's even like when rich people move out to the countryside on
Yeah.
the basis that if I'm not in the big city,
Yeah.
that's where all the robbers live.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I'm disconnected and I'm separate. But of
But
course,
they're
then they've
higher
got
level robbers.
yeah, and then they've got this giant house with
Yeah.
land, in the middle of
Yeah.
fucking nowhere,
And
and
not
the
a lot
robbers
of
drive out to it.
Not a lot of streetlights.
Not a lot of street lights.
Not a
And
lot.
you're all on your fucking own.
They never get caught because they're more like discerning robbers.
Yes, of
They know
course.
what they're
Yeah.
doing.
They're planning.
They're targeting. They're planning.
Yeah, they got
Yeah.
the blueprints. of the
They're
house.
clever guys. They're not just like fucking who's it's down the road.
They called up Kevin McLeod.
Johnny
and they got...
Cumbank or whatever.
Johnny Cumbank.
Johnny Cumbank going,
Oh no,
Oh.
he's back.
yeah. Oi,
He's back with a whole new bank of cum.
oi, Joshua Cumbank.
Johnny and Joshua Cumbank.
Johnny and Joshua Cumbank.
The Cumbank brothers.
Cumbank brothers. They're
It's a Cumbank. Cumbank.
They've decided. They've decided to go. No, they've decided to go on the rob, and they're caught instantly because
Yeah.
they don't know what they're doing. They're
No,
just
because the
targeting any
Cumbank
house.
brothers
Yeah.
notoriously shit at actually robbery.
Yeah.
When on my last holiday in which I experienced
Howie.
hotel time.
Oh yeah.
It was
Hotel
actually
time,
it was actually
hotel
like a, it was
time.
actually like,
Lovely.
it was actually like an Airbnb or whatever. But like
Oh, so you're a liar.
I've talked about it on air before when we
On top of all of it, you're a liar.
permission to treat the witness as hostile. Yeah, when I said
Permission pending.
when I was watching like shitty television and watching like all those kind of like traffic cops
Yeah.
and like
Border control.
emergency stop
yeah, I like that one. Yeah.
yeah but
998.
Yeah.
but no but like 999 is pretty exciting. What's more exciting than that? 9910
Whoa, 910.
Oh.
adventure +1
Crime plus one.
There was a show called 999 back in the 90s.
There was, I love
Yes.
Michael Burke presented it.
Michael Murray.
Yeah.
Newsreader Michael Burke.
but wasn't that a show entirely made up of reenactments?
Yeah.
Yes.
You know.
Pretty much. Well, you couldn't film these things live at the time because no one had any glasses.
And then Deborah made the fateful decision to walk home alone.
Yeah.
60 minutes of this.
What a
you know.
prick.
Yeah.
Deborah
And then-
Cumbank walked home. Little
It was
did you know,
usually
her
someone had got
ex-husband,
like struck
Joshua
down.
Cumbank was out of prison.
Joshua Cumbank.
He's back.
Yeah. But it's usually someone who had fallen off a cliff or something.
Yeah.
They'd be like,
Oh, yeah, 999 wasn't always crime.
No, do you
Yeah.
remember there was that kid who fell in the gorilla cage?
Was that on
I'm
999?
pretty sure that was on 999.
Was that on... Really?
And he broke his arm and then the gorilla cradled him.
yeah.
Maybe that wasn't 999.
I feel like...
That was just a news story.
I feel...
Dave the Spade went on an adventure and now he's fallen off the cliff and got stuck on a ridge.
Stuck on a ridge.
Dave the Spade, what's going on down there, mate?
I think I've fallen, Barry.
I think I've fallen, Barry. I think I've fractured my ankle.
Wait, Barry. There's a gorilla coming over. He's cradling me like my mother.
Call 999, Dave.
Call 998. They deal with gorillas.
I'll have to go to my closest payphone,
Yeah.
Dave,
Oh, yeah.
because
Yeah.
I don't have my Google Lens with
I'll
me.
be back.
Yeah,
in
and
20
also
minutes,
it's
yeah.
1992.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
No one had phones then.
And
They'd have to go
coppers
to the
wear
nearest
helmets.
house. If you fell down a cliff,
Everyone
999, you're waiting
Everyone
a
had-
good half hour.
everyone did have big baggy jumpers though. So
that's
like
true.
92, you
you could
chances...
parachute down to the ridge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
your chances of surviving on
The
a
ridge.
on a ridge.
On a ridge.
On a ridge.
Yeah.
What's
Oh,
wrong?
no. I'm stuck on a ridge.
It'd be the reenactments. It's like, what's wrong, Barry? It's me leg. Me leg's off.
It's my leg. It don't work
My
anymore.
ankle's falling off,
He's
Barry.
got a leg off.
Yeah.
Call me Mrs. Tell her I'll be home late for me dinner.
Mrs. Comeback.
Mrs. Comeback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
Mrs. The Spade.
This is the Spade Comeback.
Barry was now alone on the ridge. Thankfully, he still had a packet of pork scratchings
Yeah.
in the front pockets of his oversized dungarees
Yeah.
from the
Yes.
night before.
Unfortunately, the smell of the pork scratchings was attracting more gorillas, and not all of them were as motherly as the first gorilla that had cradled him in his arms.
Barry was able to use his oversized Umbro jumper as a blanket for the night.
Stuck
But he wouldn't last another 12 hours.
On Coldstone Ridge.
Yeah. 999, and then you come back later to that story. They'd
10 gorillas.
They'd introduce you to another story, and
Yeah.
then they come back to another one.
They would indeed.
The previous one. Like,
And
Homes,
it would
like Homes Under the Hammer,
It was just
but
for
for
A lot like
emergencies.
Homes Under the Hammer.
And it was that last era of television where people didn't know how to look or act on television. So they're doing the reenactments of people who were there on the day.
Yeah.
And it will be like, Barry's mate has just run like 16 miles back into the middle of like Stockport, and he goes to like the mountain rescue team.
Yeah.
And he just burst into a room and go like, and everything's pale and lit by fluorescent lighting because it's the
Everything
90s.
is pale, that's true.
Yeah.
You gotta come quick. My mate Barry, he's stuck on the ridge. And you just cut to like a man with like round spectacles and a little moustache. You just go, oh dear. We better hurry.
Yeah.
We better hurry. The ridge could be
Oh, I see the
cold.
footsie's down again. Reading the Financial Times. Yeah. Oh, the 90s.
The ridge.
Caravan crime is apparently a thing,
What do you mean?
as in stealing caravans.
Stealing it. Okay.
How do you...
Now-
With people in it?
Well, maybe that's a bonus.
That's fun.
Yeah.
That's human trafficking.
We're
then,
just having a good time.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I on one of those crime time shows,
Prime time is the right
there was
time.
an exciting late night country lane chase
Mm.
behind a car that was stealing a caravan.
Oh.
Can't go very fast with a caravan in tow.
No.
No.
Yeah, you'd topple over.
You might derail.
Yeah.
Also, like, is there much of a resale market in a caravan?
Or were they stealing static caravans?
Well,
Big money in static caravans.
Hasn't got wheels.
Oh.
It's just on bricks.
they come in pieces as well. You can steal half a
true.
static caravan.
Right down the length.
Yeah.
God.
Sever the length.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't imagine, particularly if it's been in a chase, I can't imagine it would have a lot of resale value.
No.
Just the top of it's clean
Yeah.
off. It's just wheels now.
Hang on, mate.
And a
It's,
floor.
it's only been in one chase.
It's only been in one chase. Look, in the summer, right? The top's down already. You can just chill out. You put a towel down on that floor there.
Towel
Lovely, comfortable all day long in
All
the
day
summer.
long.
In the winter, maybe put it in the garage.
Maybe
right?
park it under a tree, and
Mate,
you'll
yeah.
be all right.
Yeah, just make sure there's some cover on it.
Look, mate, I've got 5 people queuing
Yeah.
up today. Do you want it or not?
Do you want my summer caravan or not?
Is that blood?
No, mate, no.
No.
What happened was the kids were playing with ketchup, right? Don't ask no more questions, and I won't give you no more answers. All right?
Lies. Answers.
I love it when in the like all these crime time shows where like it'll be like Officer Spencer has spotted a group of lags parked outside an Asda
Yeah.
at 9 p.m. on a Thursday.
Yeah.
He's
I know
gonna
that's
he's gonna
suspicious.
ask them a few questions. They're just like walk,
Toddle over.
Right,
walk
lads.
out. He goes, "You're right, lads. Having a big night out." He goes, "Oh yeah, mate, officer, yeah."
All their faces are blurred.
Yeah, he
out,
goes, pop the boot, mate. What you got in there? Now you do seem to have some bolt cutters in it. just think of a bolt cutters for a drive off.
Just thought I'd like to see around town. It's
Their
like
excuses are always terrible, aren't they?
4 pairs of bolt cutters,
Yeah.
blueprints for the local bank, and 98 litres of vodka.
It's like
Big night, is it, lads? No, just gonna
Just
gonna
normal
go
for
home.
us, actually.
Just on our way
it's
home.
like could you at
Just a
least
Thursday.
I don't know, like if I was going to go out and do a crime with 3 of my mates, on a Thursday night, and I had to bring, you got to bring bolt cutters.
I mean, there might be a
Oh,
chain
yeah,
link
You
fence.
can't do a crime without it.
You can't go anywhere without bolt
Maybe I
cutters.
would bring one other item to make it look less weird.
Yeah, like imagine if you brought all of your toolbox for DIY
Yeah,
with your bolt cutters.
yeah.
And then they wouldn't look weird.
That's
but
probably a
imagine
lot.
a pristine boot. Nothing in it. Not even a first aid kit, tyre iron, nothing. And it's just a singular gleaming pair of bolt cutters in the middle of the boot. Yeah, lad. Can you come with me?
Right then,
All right, lads. It's not that I don't believe you. It's just that you do have an angle grinder and a pair of bolt cutters in the boot. No, and also like a little dispenser box of latex gloves.
Yeah.
Now, what's that about, lads? You know.
Oh, we're surgeons. We're all surgeons.
No, that checks out on your way.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, doctor.
Yeah, we're on call, mate.
Sorry, doctor. Yeah.
Sorry, doctors. Keep you from
this
your
is,
important business.
This is an ambulance.
This is our private ambulance.
It's a Vauxhall Nova.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a private ambulance.
And it doesn't just have a tax disc.
Uber does ambulances now. Back off.
Yeah.
Does it have a tax disc?
Yeah. It's just like now, we see a guy doing 98 miles an hour in a residential zone.
Yeah.
It's like, do you know why I pulled you over here tonight? No, officer, no idea.
No,
yeah.
I don't know.
Is this car insured? No. And
I'm not going to lie to you, officer.
They're never insured.
I know. It's either
Don't do 98. Don't do 98 if it's not insured. Just do 30.
Here's the thing. Do one crime,
Yeah.
right? Instead, he's got bolt cutters in the back.
Yeah.
He's planning a robbery, right? He doesn't not taxed, not insured, not MOT'd. It's
Yeah.
not his car. He stole it off his mate
Yeah,
Joshua
yeah.
Cumbank. My point is, he's simultaneously doing 5 crimes.
It's a classic case of
Just do one.
starting a new project when you've not finished the last
It's
one.
yeah.
Classic case.
ADHD hobbyist.
Yeah. But
Yeah, 'cause
crime.
thing
But
is-
make it crime.
I guess we never actually hear about the really successful criminals because they're not doing
No.
this.
Survivor bias.
They're very
There it is.
There it is.
Good use of-
underground, making money. Don't
Yeah.
get their hands dirty.
No.
Always
Know
keep.
what I mean?
It's like, and I think the moral here is whatever you're doing,
Is there a moral?
just keep to the speed limit.
Keep the speed
Like,
limit.
That's the
literally,
thing. You
yeah.
won't
won't
get
get-
anything in that.
You won't
Yeah.
get pulled over.
Whatever you're doing in
Not in
life,
this,
That's the other
not in this
crime.
country, anyway.
yeah,
It was already 5 crimes. He's added a 6th crime on.
it's not taxed.
Not taxed, not insured, not
Yeah.
MOT, bolt cutters in the bag, drunk, his mate's high, and he was speeding.
Yeah, you just go.
and it's not his car.
It's that thing where you go like. By the way, lads, the car
It's not
does.
his caravan either.
The car does smell of high quality ganja.
Yes.
Are any of you under the influence right now?
Oh, yes.
Because I refuse to be tested. You do realise it's a crime to refuse to be tested.
Okay, I would like.
I don't not refuse.
Yes.
Fingers
Oh,
crossed.
fingers crossed. 50-50 in it, officer. No.
Well, that was fun.
Well, wasn't it?
Who
That's our cold open.
has a hate?
I've got hate.
Oh,
Nick- ooh.
I jumped in.
He's getting in
That's
there.
good. Yeah.
There's come sort my mic out. It's dripping. Dripping.
Oh, has Nick got the one I had
It's
last time?
drooping.
Mine was drooping last time.
Get it right up.
I'll go a little higher.
Get it. Yeah.
Go a little
You'll
higher
have
there,
more
John.
time.
There you go.
There you go. I'll pull it closer.
Go a little higher there.
Listen to me, viewers.
It's fine, yeah.
Give
it all that.
There's a movie coming out. I've seen posters for it. I don't know anything more about it other than it's called The Accountant.
2.
Is it 2?
Yeah.
Fuck me. Then this plays even greater. I haven't even fully read the poster when I brought it as a hate because I got so angry I didn't finish reading it and I just stormed straight here to Hate HQ
Oh,
to
my
start
goodness.
recording. I fucking hate movies that are usually a washed up actor who, male, action star, who kind of had his moment maybe 15 years ago.
Sure.
But he's aging like gracefully enough to still be a leading man.
Sure.
And he's just about not old enough, not too old, so he can still do action, but they'll probably comp in another guy when they need to. And he gets a series of movies, case in point being here, because this is now the second accountant movie, where he plays action guy, saving people with gun,
Yeah.
Yes.
and he's always named for some mundane job role.
Yeah, like oh god. Well, there's that
There's the Statham ones, the transporter.
the transporter.
Yeah. There's
It's not quite a job role, but there's Denzel Washington,
Equalizer.
the Equalizer.
Equalizer gets a slightly
Because it's Denzel.
well, more because that actually sounds like something that's kind of actiony.
Yeah.
I think what annoys me about them is
The
that
Chancellor of the Exchequer.
they're trying.
the Chancellor.
The Chancellor.
Chancellor, I can imagine being one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're trying to make a mundane term ironically badass
Yeah.
Yeah.
through context alone. Because the cover, always the same. Poster, always the same. Dude, gun.
Dude gun, looking,
Yes.
looking
Next to face, looking round
down
corner.
slightly.
Oh, yeah, looking down at an angle. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the quintessential one now is that the Staith. He's back
Stays back.
with the working man.
Oh, my God. That is.
Oh.
It's almost the worst one.
Yeah.
The working man. What am I? I'm a working man.
I'm just an ordinary working man.
I'm just an ordinary working man.
What's
Just
that?
an ordinary working
What's a
man.
Staith?
I don't do jobs no more. What's that? You got a job?
Was
Was that a bit?
I retired 10 years ago.
Yeah.
What's that? Someone's been kidnapped.
Oh, God. No, this is personal.
Something needs transporting. No,
Don't
wait,
worry-
that's a different one.
Don't worry about my fee. This time it's personal.
This time it's
I
personal.
think you get the trailer. I'm a bit of a trailer where it's like, it's just like, and countdown to, oh, you're gonna die. Yeah, you're the incentive.
Yeah, there you go.
When I found you 15 years ago,
Yeah.
and I gave you a job and a life when you had no memories after I pulled you out of that snowbank,
That ridge.
you became family. When I found you on a ridge.
I found you on Colston Ridge.
It's Barry the Spade. Oh, thanks, Jace. Thanks, Jace. Thanks.
You really sorted my life
I was
out.
this close to eating my oversized Umbro jumper there, and then you turned up and it's saved the day.
I'm married now and I've got a beautiful child. I sure hope I don't die. Bang. No, it's personal.
Personal.
You killed Barry the Spade.
Now I'm going to take my shirt off and fight in a garage or something. I don't
Yeah,
know.
isn't the accountant Ben Affleck?
Is it?
He's the accountant.
Fuck me.
I don't know any.
The thing
Ben
is
Affleck.
that again, I just saw like
Particularly.
most of the poster and then ran with fury
Yeah.
to here to record, and I didn't even see who it
We're
was.
not even scheduled to
Yeah.
record. You just
and
ran
I didn't
over.
exactly, and I didn't even see there was a 2.
Yeah.
Also, I do think it is a failing on the poster's design though, because it runs vertically down one
Yeah.
side. It says the accountant.
Oh.
The 2 will be right down at the bottom. I probably didn't see. There's
Unle-
probably a
un-
dog
well,
in front of it. Or
well,
something.
well, I'm fairly certain, and I'm fairly.
The dog was shaped like a 2.
They
That's
didn't
weird.
think of that, did they?
Why
There
is
could
there
be
a dog in front of
it.
every poster? That's kind of weird. This could be a false memory.
Okay.
Maybe it's a Mandela effect, and I've slipped
Maybe I should
into
look it
another
up.
universe.
Yeah.
I'm fairly certain there was an Accountant 1 movie.
Yeah.
Anna Kendrick was in it.
Oh.
Ben Affleck was the.
Oh.
Anna Kendrick was in it.
Yeah.
There is a Ben Affleck movie. I'm sure I've seen a poster.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. Yeah, it's Ben Affleck.
That's
So
the
that's the
accountant.
accountant 1.
And now
The
he's back,
Accountant
unless
2.
it's a different movie called The Accountant.
Accountant 2, Revenge of Accountant.
Oh yeah, the 2 is tiny though. It's a really tiny little 2.
There we
The
go.
Accountant Squared.
Yes,
Carry
it
the
is.
one.
It's like squared,
The
but it
Accountant-
is.
Yeah.
It's Ben
Accountant
Affleck.
Squared.
Oh, and what's the guy who played the Punisher called?
Frank Grillo.
No, Bernthal. John Bernthal.
Oh,
yeah.
wait, who's Frank Grillo?
Dunno.
Oh, he played oh god, he played that one named Thug in Captain America:
Oh,
The Winter
him.
Soldier.
Oh, him.
Yeah.
Frank Grillo.
Grillo. He's
Who, Grillo?
he gets a lot of work
Does Grillo get movies like this?
Has he been
in
typecast?
in
though?
geezer teasers.
Yeah.
Giza teasers? What do you mean by that?
That's a name.
Like pyramids of Giza?
No, like as in like GEEZER.
Yeah, like pyramids.
So
of
there's a
Giza.
whole like
That's how I'm
yeah,
spelling it.
like the Leaning Tower of yeah.
Yeah, Leaning Tower
Yeah.
of Giza.
So that
Oh, I'm falling over!
I tripped over a ridge.
Oh,
Sorry.
bloody hell!
Please continue.
geezer teasers is a phrase that has been coined for
Guy Ritchie movies.
movies you get in a bin by the checkout
Oh, for dads.
for dads.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
And they all have names like, a hard-working man. And it's like,
So if I look up Frank Grillo movies,
yeah, he's never not
in all of
working.
those.
He's making like 8 movies a year.
let's see if we get
The man gets paid.
Frank Grillo movies. Die Alone.
Yeah, there you go.
Hounds of War. Lights Out.
Oh, God.
King of Killers.
Jesus.
MK9.
What, Milton Keynes 9?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it's MK9.
It's a
Okay.
movie about the milk.
The Milton Keynes 9.
Yeah.
One Day as a Lion. That's literally a movie he's in.
Wow.
I think he's a lion for a day.
If you could spend one day as a lion, what would you do?
A Day to Die.
Yeah.
The Gateway. Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard. That's a
Oh,
movie.
well, no, that was borderline real
Is
movie.
that Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah, that was a
Is in
sequel.
Oh, is that funny?
Yeah.
Either way,
Hitman's wife's bodyguard.
Yeah,
Body Brokers.
Because the first movie was called The Hitman's Bodyguard,
So the hitman's wife's bodyguard.
which was a
right.
Samuel L. Jackson,
I see.
Ryan Reynolds
Oh.
vehicle.
Yeah.
And I stared at that poster
go.
for a long time, and I could not work out what the joke was meant to be.
No.
No.
Maybe there wasn't one.
He's in a
Was
movie
there?
called Wheelman,
Wheelman.
which is a good word for driver,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, I guess it is.
Hi, I'm your wheelman. I'm not legally allowed to say driver.
Yeah, driver was owned.
Driver is a
Driver
copyrighted
was
term.
Yeah, so, there you go, like geezer teasers.
There
yeah.
wasn't there a movie called The Grey Man?
The great, yes, with Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, I thought it was Liam Neeson for some reason.
And Captain America was in it.
Chris Evans.
He had a mustache.
in Grey Man.
Yeah, Grey Man.
The Grade Man.
The thing, my issue with these trailers is that they always have an actor. All these trailers have a male actor in their late 50s.
Yes.
Explaining to the audience why a male actor in their mid 40s is the deadliest weapon the CIA ever produced.
Correct. Despite the fact that he's always retired,
Yes.
probably partly because he's too old.
You've got to be looking at the strategic like direction of the CIA. If the best hope they have
Is a
Yeah.
retired,
is a
old
retired old man, like what
Yeah.
they've been doing for 20 years, right?
man. And he takes down men 30 years younger than him.
Oh, indeed,
Easily.
because kids these days, am I right?
And also experience. Can't teach an old dog.
They're on their
No.
GameCubes, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're all on their GameCubes.
They're all on their GameCubes.
They're all on
going,
their GameCubes.
Oh,
Yeah.
no old man's gonna shoot me in the head.
Yeah.
Whee!
I guess-
And then
Super
bang.
punchable.
I guess
gone.
like if this is just
Bust.
like if this is fantasy escapism for a demographic that's older than us, when we are
yeah.
50
Is there a
or 60,
demographic that's older than us?
Not anymore.
or when we're
killed
50,
them.
when we're 50 or 60,
What are we going to get?
how are they going to pander to us?
That's such a good point. What is
Oh,
it going to be?
it'll be more Marvel movies.
Yes, it will be more
Yeah.
Marvel movies. Yeah, it will be. Yeah.
It will be like the moderately paid man.
Yeah.
It will be like, that's a fantasy.
Yeah, it's impossible. Yeah.
The median salaried man.
Whoa, look at his life.
Whoa, he's got a median salary. He earns £41,500 a year.
He's got a driveway.
Yeah.
The coping man.
Yeah.
He's just getting by.
Yeah.
Wow. Frank, you give
Wow,
so
he's,
much.
he's bought a second car.
Yeah. Frank, you give so much to this family on your income to balance the mortgage and hold down a reasonable hobby for a man of your size and BMI.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you do it?
Shut up, Margaret. BMI's a myth. Bang.
Dead.
Dead.
Dead. Gone.
Over that
Shot
BMI
by a
comment.
60-year-old retired CIA
Yeah.
agent.
Yeah, with incredible aim.
I'm sorry, Frank. There's nothing we can do because of the liberal government. There's no way we can punish these young children who took your family and mortgage from you.
You're more...
My mortgage.
Why would someone steal a mortgage?
I'm just there screaming at the screen like, not his mortgage.
I've never related to a character more.
That's going to affect his credit rating.
I guess I'll have to take the law into my own hands
Yeah.
after I take my Actimel to help my dicky tummy.
Got to cultivate that biosphere.
Yeah. I'd watch that movie.
Yeah, wow,
think-
this character's talking to me.
Yeah.
I'd like to watch a movie
Here we go. With a story in it.
that's ostensibly a boring one about a side henchman.
Yeah.
And then the end of the movie is him getting shot in the head by the main character.
That's
and
what
then
you want.
And then that leads into the actual movie, right?
And that's the second movie.
That's like the overlap movie.
Well,
you know what I mean?
well,
and then the other proper movie comes out.
I'm glad you opened the door
Yeah.
to John's Comic Corner.
Oh.
John's Comic Corner.
I'm already regretting it.
Because there is a whole issue of the Invisibles that is entirely about that.
Yes.
They storm
goon?
they storm a base. They shoot tons of like
But then doesn't
nameless goons.
Problematic, isn't it?
And then they do a whole issue about the life of that one
Yeah.
goon
Before he dies.
before he dies.
That's amazing. That's
Yeah,
literally what
it's
you
good.
just said.
Yeah.
Yeah, the problem is with that, because then there would be side characters in that story, right? So
Yeah,
where does it
got
end?
expanded universe.
Well, I don't think you have to do all of the...
No,
I think we should.
Oh, I see. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Kevin Feige's going to stand on a stage
like a
and it'll be
web.
like
It's like a web
in a
of
baseball
movies
cap.
then, isn't
the
it?
next
It's like
10 years.
a guy he brushes past in the street. What's his story?
Everyone wants a web of
Maybe we
movies.
should, we
Yeah.
should have a movie about
upcoming
that
the average man expanded universe.
guy. Yeah.
There's nothing I've liked
Expanding like my waistline, right?
more. My BMI. Die,
Yeah.
Margaret.
Stop saying BMI, Margaret. It makes you sound like an ass.
Makes you sound stupid. You do know it's a myth, right,
It's
Margaret?
so bad.
It's a myth.
It's awful. It's a terrible metric. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I don't want more webs of movies.
Yeah.
I've had one web, and I'm done with it now.
I don't think there are standalone movies anymore, are there? As
Does
far
that
as I
even
know.
happen anymore?
What was the last standalone movie that came out?
There was that one with Robert Pattinson where he's a clone. I never saw it. It looked quite
Mickey
good.
17.
Good knowledge.
Never heard of it.
I haven't seen the previous 16,
Never heard
so
of it,
I
yeah.
don't know.
It's a web.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I kind of...
There were standalone movies.
Yeah.
I don't believe you.
There was that
Yeah.
The Creator. It wasn't very good.
Never heard of it.
Okay,
Well, you
cool.
say that. I mean, who's
I don't
not
think
who's
they're
not to say
particularly well
there'll be a
promoted,
sequel?
are they?
The Creators.
2.
But the S is a 2.
The only standalone movies I hear about are like Oscar nominees, and then I watch bits of those movies, and I'm like, fucking hell, these are awful.
Yeah.
These are so boring.
They're so boring. They don't have any superheroes in them.
They don't have any. No one's got super strength.
I'm relating to this character and I know what he wants.
There are no animated
I
animals.
don't care about this.
None of that in those movies.
Yeah.
far as I know.
They are out there, but they just...
You have to look for them now.
Yeah.
Few and far between.
You have to look
Yeah,
for them.
well, that's the issue in itself, isn't it? Because nobody wants to. Because I thought Mickey 17 is like, I like Robert Pattinson, and it's the guy who did Parasite.
Yes, true.
He's the director.
No.
I
You know?
went to see Death of a Unicorn.
Oh no!
That was good.
Why would you go to see such a thing?
I know. That was a standalone news story,
Yeah.
new idea.
It is out there. You just gotta.
The thing is, this is the first time I'm hearing of these movies, so it's like,
Yeah.
maybe they're not getting as well exposed.
Well, they're not getting.
Well, they're definitely
as
not
well
getting. They're
marketed.
definitely not getting as well exposed. That's
But-
a whole other issue.
No, Death of a Unicorn was quite good actually. It's quite funny.
I want something original.
Yeah, well,
I can really get my teeth into.
Go watch Death
Yeah.
of a Unicorn.
All right.
Sponsors of this episode.
Death of a Unicorn. Sounds awful. Sounds like it might make me cry.
It's kind of a horror.
Oh, forget it then.
The unicorn's kind of a beast,
Oh,
not what you'd expect.
not for me.
Oh,
I don't do
Spoilers.
horrors. Huh?
that's not a spoiler. That's in
Spoilers.
the poster.
Spoilers.
Spoiler.
Literally.
Some movies don't tell you when they're going to be horrors. You know.
Maybe that's why you don't like watching movies.
Maybe it is. Yeah.
Because, you don't know what they're going to spring on you
Maybe
at any
it is.
moment.
Yeah, you need to
Wasn't
know
that,
exactly what it's going to be.
Blake Lively one, they like marketed it as like a lovely rom com,
It ends with us.
and it turned into
What
like
is it?
it's like about abuse, isn't it?
Really?
Something like that.
Oh, I didn't
Well, there's
know.
a whole thing with that movie.
Yeah,
oh,
the
I know
drama
about
outside,
there's
because of Blake.
a lawsuit.
Well,
going on.
Who knows?
Oh, what's the? I don't know then. I know that she's been weird in interviews and stuff.
Well,
They've sued each other. The
Yeah.
two people in that movie have sued each other for
harassment?
something
Like
on
bad
set-
behaviour?
on
They're
set
each accusing
behaviour.
each other of that.
Yeah,
Yeah, pretty much.
yeah.
Interesting.
The thing I found, I don't know. The only comment I have on that is that, like, I don't think I've ever seen a movie with Blake Lively in, but I saw the
Oh,
30-second unskippable YouTube trailer for It Ends With Us, and I was like, why is her face like that?
Yeah.
I watched a movie
Isn't
called.
she in Green Lantern?
That's how they met.
Yeah,
She played the CGI suit.
she
Yeah.
did.
I watched the
Wrapped
movie.
around him.
I watched one Blake Lively movie called Age of Adeline.
Sounds boring.
What a
Yeah, it
weird
was a bit.
title. Yeah.
It was about Harrison Ford was in it though.
Oh, that
Um,
makes it fine.
playing Han Solo.
Playing Adeline.
Yeah, playing Age. No, it was about a woman who couldn't age.
Oh,
So she lived like decades as in the same sort of way and same.
And that was
age.
Harrison Ford.
She got with Harrison Ford in like the 40s or whatever, whenever he was young,
When he was hot.
when he was hot, and then ended up getting with his son.
also played by Harrison
Also
Ford.
played by Harrison Ford. Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
but
played
de-aged
by
via
by
CGI.
a man.
Yeah.
It was alright.
Cool.
And then in the end, she did start aging.
Oh.
Oh,
I don't know.
Was that
Wow.
because when she found true love, she started to age?
Maybe I can't remember.
Sounds bad.
were you paying attention?
No.
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 okay.
Lord, no. Heavens. But there was it was a movie though.
Yeah. Well,
And
there you
Blake
go.
Lively was in it.
That's a standalone movie you watched.
My beer keeps getting stuck to the mat, John.
I've got a hate.
Oh, look at this. We're
Unconventional.
off the
I'm getting
reservation.
in
I'll go
here.
last.
Yeah, fine. I hate, and this is a shocking discovery, anti ASMR.
What does that mean?
What? Okay, so for context,
What does that mean?
ASMR. Do you know what ASMR is?
Only because
We've
you've told
talked.
me about
We've
it
talked
on this
about this
show,
like
yeah.
a decade ago. On
That's
the
true,
show.
yeah, because you brought it up as a hate. So this is incredible. You're now going to bring the anti version of it up as a hate.
Yeah,
This is
so-
a first for the show.
Well, so
It may
ASMR.
not be.
It may-
We
it
don't
might
know-
be
We
really
don't know
shit,
for sure.
ASMR is meant to be, as I understand it, some people get like a kind of little tingle
Mm.
over certain
tingle.
sounds.
Kind of quiety.
It's people
Sounds.
like playing one of them glockenspiel things, like they go. "Dulun, dulun, dulun."
No, that's too musical, I
Oh.
feel.
It's got to be like rubbing your fingernails over some tin foil.
Oh.
Whispering like this, but having very clear
Ooh.
consonants when you whisper.
Ooh.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I bet someone just got off on that then.
Yeah.
I did a cummy.
Well, when ASMR was
Someone's
discovered,
got a raging semi.
yeah. So there were two major events in the history of ASMR. One, it was discovered, and two, it was discovered by the talentless, who
yeah.
then forged bold careers by
Sure.
I don't know, chewing foil or
What does it stand for?
audio
systematic.
sensual mechanical response.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, something to do with ears.
Autonomous sensory meridian response.
I never would have.
There we
got that.
go.
Fuck, I never knew that.
I never would have got that.
I could have guessed response. That's about it. Yeah. So
I just said respiratory.
Well, you'd be an
respiratory.
idiot if you said that.
Yeah.
it causes people to stop breathing.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Or breathe more.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
So yeah, it's like, if you're a talentless hack, but you can, I don't know, twist a cabbage in front of a microphone.
Alluringly. And you also want a YouTube career.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. And tonight
I hate this.
we're going to be
This is upsetting a lot of people now.
touching us.
No, we're not.
I'm going to
No, we're
wrap
not.
my dick in tinfoil.
Oh.
and
Drag it along a radiator. Ding, 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 ding. Ow.
Oh, that hurt.
Oh, that really tweaks the bell.
My foreskin.
My sweet foreskin.
oh, and I have called paramedics, and they are.
Is that ASMR?
Yeah.
It's bad ASMR.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a siren.
I'm in here. Please. Hurry.
The door's unlocked. You don't need to.
Unit 412.
You don't need to break that mirror. It's a family heirloom.
We're gonna call it. Time of death.
Okay.
9:02.
No, please, I'm still alive. No, listen to me.
Okay. Yes.
There's no response from the patients. Time of death.
Okay. Everyone is now back in the room, and they are applying the jaws
I'm
of
gonna throw
death
something at
to the 1930s style radiator, inside of which my penis is entwined.
I've made a huge mistake.
I didn't like that at all.
Yeah. So
that's ASMR.
That's ASMR.
Good. Well, I'm glad we got to the bottom of
Which
that.
I think the point is the reason people might make a 15-hour compilation video of ASMR is
I've
because
not got that much time to do anything.
well,
Let alone that.
yeah, but you're maybe not the target audience because you have things going on.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
that is true.
But also,
yeah.
you have not had that many erections in a 15-hour period. I can tell you that right now.
No, definitely not.
No.
not one chance. I can tell you that for nothing.
But yeah, so one would imagine
Barely hold my eye open for 15 hours.
Which eye?
one would imagine there is a pleasurable component to this because
Sure.
why?
That's the tingle, right?
Yeah, because why would you watch anything for that long? That was unpleasant.
Sure.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you know, people are like.
Well, I suppose my point is anyway. So
So anti-ASMR.
well, yeah,
is that like the auntie of ASMR?
Oh, like that's the name of the channel.
Her
Hi,
name-
I'm
that's her name.
anti-ASMR.
Hi, I'm
Auntie
anti-ASMR.
ASMR. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Here's Uncle Crops.
Uncle
Uncle Crops. That's it. Today, your names have been off the chain.
Yeah. I
we've
don't
had-
know where these words
We've
are
had
coming
Cut
from.
Bank and Uncle Crops.
Hi, I'm Uncle Crops.
It's Uncle Crops, everyone.
So anyway, we were watching a video last night,
That was your first mistake.
which was
I
about,
hope it wasn't on YouTube.
of all things, the history of chewing gum.
Oh.
Fucking hell.
I know. To be honest, I didn't select it.
Why don't you read a book or something?
Yeah, I was trying.
You got distracted by this video.
But there was this video had a unique quirk in that it had stock footage in it,
Right.
and
Let it rip.
the guy made a point of crediting the stock footage.
Oh, no.
So, like you'll get stock footage and it might be like a man looking confused
Yeah,
You
on
know,
a building site.
on a building site looking at blueprint going,
Yeah.
and
I know exactly what you mean.
it's
I
quite
feel like I
unu-
can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's quite unusual to credit it.
Yes. Why would you credit it?
So it would just be a
The
little,
whole point of
little
stuff
bit
you
of
don't
text.
have to do.
Yeah, I know, exactly. So there's a little bit of
Wouldn't
text.
you just bought the rights?
Yeah, so a little bit of text in the corner going like, confused man on building site by, photo image Dave 10, So it's meaningless. But because it was about chewing gum, he had a lot of distressing stock footage of people chewing.
Oh, no.
And there was a video, and I experienced quite a visceral reaction to it. The video, because again he credited his stock footage, was called like "Rude Woman in Queue Chewing Gum ASMR."
Oh,
So
right.
it was an unpleasant close-up of a woman. So I think the idea being that she's standing behind you, chewing gum.
And you're hearing this,
Yeah, but
that gives you a sense.
but like there's a bit of like a low poly background of like a supermarket, clearly like green screen. So it's just this woman's disgusting mouth, and she's like,
Oh no.
and I'm like, well, this is clearly not designed to give anyone a chub, unless it's
No.
unless that's your thing, I suppose. And it was so
It's going to be someone's thing.
yeah.
Surely.
viscerally awful. And I was like, who is this for?
Yeah.
Because
I mean, there's so much of everything now that there doesn't even have to be demand for it.
That's
It just has to exist.
That is a powerfully profound thing you just said.
It does, but it doesn't. It
We are
doesn't
living
matter
in
if
a
there's no
post-demand world.
Yeah.
In the same way as we were talking about tech earlier, and you asked what was the point of those glasses, and we can't answer because tech doesn't solve problems anymore.
As
It's
long
the
as you've
same-
got the money to do it, demand doesn't matter.
It's the same with content. Like, you may as well just fucking make it.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is,
Just in case. It feels
Yeah.
like it's like just in case. I'll
just
make
in
it
case someone gets a shove
just
on
in
it.
case.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is this video, inherently unpleasant, even to probably ASMR fans, was
Yeah.
still labelled as ASMR.
yes, yeah. So I guess I don't think they were marketing it as like
No,
anti ASMR.
but you're calling it that on the basis that it's bad.
Yeah, because it would be like picking again. It's for the fusion of stock video footage, which is quite inane and pointless at the best of times.
Yeah.
If you want to find a video of a man like I don't know pouring marmalade onto a book,
Yeah.
like it's out there.
Oh, I
Yeah,
hope
yeah,
so.
yeah.
Someone will make that
That's
clip.
my sex thing.
There you go.
That's how I finish.
But then also someone's like, "What do we got?" And it's like,
What,
well,
oh no.
what if you really need footage of a rude woman standing behind you? But it is ASMR, but we're gonna kind of call it ASMR because that's a keyword you can search
Which they'll
for.
find it by.
Yeah, and it was just so unpleasant. And then it just makes me think, well, did that same person do like every other unpleasant noise under the sun?
I've thought this before about stock. Like, you could go insane
Yeah.
setting out to be a stock making guy,
Mm-hmm.
because it's like, right, today
Yeah.
I've got the cafe to film in.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I'm gonna do the usual, white woman scrolling her phone, looking at a latte. Right, there's loads of stock footage of
Yeah.
that. We're gonna have we'll have woman sat at table with latte, because I'll make use of the latte we've already
Same
got.
woman.
Same woman, yeah.
Same woman.
And
Yeah.
then a man will sit down and it'll be slightly slow motion, slightly frosted lens, and they'll smile and laugh as if they're just
Yeah.
meeting up. Then we'll have business meeting at the table in the cafe.
Yeah.
Shaking hands.
Yeah.
And you can shit all of these out probably in a day, right? You've booked the cafe, you've booked the set, you've got your 2 actors, and you're going to do every conceivable thing that someone might want a stock footage for.
Do you have a list, or do you kind of like
I think you're flying
do
it.
it in the moment?
You're just
Yeah.
riffing them out, and then it gets to like 4:00 in the afternoon, and everyone's really tired, and someone goes, "What about close up of her chewing gum?"
Yeah.
And they just go, "Yeah, fuck it, that's ASMR, isn't it?"
We've got the time.
Everyone's like loosening their collars. They've done everything.
They're
They're like,
sweating.
what if he's putting sugar cubes into his coffee? We've done that.
We've done sugar.
Oh, what if
Oh,
it's-
what is it? Have we done brown sugar? Yeah, we've done it.
yeah.
done all of
What
the
if he
sugars.
like I don't know? What if he poured his latte into the bowl of sugar cubes and then drank that?
That's good. That's good.
We could
Stop
do that,
filming.
Yeah.
We've only got 1 latte, so we'll do that at the end.
What if he took like a sugar cube and like just started rubbing it into his gums,
Yeah.
just back and forth, grinning, bleary-eyed at the camera?
Back and
until they
forth.
bleed.
Yeah.
Literally
What if
until they bleed.
we let a pigeon in?
Yeah.
That's
What
it.
if-
That's it.
What if we let a pigeon in?
What if a barista kills a pigeon
Yeah.
with like a 2-gallon tub of vanilla syrup? What about that?
Film it.
Yeah, do it now. We've only got another half hour.
Because honestly, because I think what would end up happening if you sat down to film stock,
You would the barista drink straight from the coffee machine?
you would constantly have new ideas, because
Yeah.
you do the one thing. It's like,
Yeah.
right, do business meeting, and then be like, oh, let's switch roles. So the woman is now joining the man at the table. Yeah, okay, we've got both of those covered now. Oh shit, we haven't got a person of color in it. Shit, we need to get someone in. Do you know what I mean? It would
Yeah.
be everything you could either do one thing 1 trillion different ways, or you could do a trillion
Yeah.
different things with the same
But
bits of kit.
But
Yeah.
but if you were like, if you're putting together like some video project for your boss or whatever,
Yes.
but then you go like, oh man, I really need a clip that symbolises.
I wish we had this one clip.
having
Yeah, really
too much
specific.
of a good thing. So you search like too much of a good thing, and then you just get this footage of like a bald man in a business suit in a coffee shop at a table, and he's putting sugar cubes into like his coffee, just like more
Constantly.
and more and more, and then he starts just like cramming sugar cubes
he's
into his
rubbing them
gums,
into his gums.
and they are bleeding.
Yeah, and then a pigeon comes in,
And then a barista runs on and kills
Someone somewhere's just
butters
going.
it with a bottle
"Oh."
of vanilla syrup.
Someone somewhere when that's purchased is just going. I'm really glad we got that pigeon shot.
Really glad we got that.
I'm
Yeah.
really glad we got that.
And cut.
Thing is, I've been in like meetings where, or just in the office where it's just our videographers needed something and it's just look for it, like stock footage or something, and it's just there. It's like in The Simpsons where the Yoko Ono knockoff asked Mo for like plum floating in perfume served in a man's hat.
Oh
And
yeah.
it's just like, there you go. That's what it is.
because somebody
It's just
will want
there.
it. Yeah,
it's always
yeah.
there.
I had to do for a while when I was at the design agency. I had to do a lot of newspaper ads, and they were always for the same company. They were like compare the market, but just for phone and like phone and data plans basically.
Yeah.
And so every ad was the same concept. It was couple looking at device,
Yeah.
basically. But we used all of them because, of course, like
There's only so
we
many.
had to do it different every single time,
Yeah.
because otherwise the ads would repeat, and that was not an option. And we had to use this one site that gave us the right licenses.
Yeah.
And so I would search couple on sofa looking at tablet, and we would have bought them all. And I was like, fuck, I just need another couple
Yeah.
looking at another iPad. Please. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And it became really, really hard to find something that was incredibly generic because we'd done it so many times.
Yeah.
It was a nightmare.
And like and then I guess like the clips you do find, they go on a little too long
Yeah.
because they want to give you
That's
coverage.
the idea. They want to give
Yeah.
you front tail and back tail, so you have
Yeah.
something to cut in the middle.
Yeah.
So the first like 10 seconds is nothing. It's an empty frame. And then the last 20 seconds is like cutawayable stuff.
Yeah.
Pain in the ass, stock footage. So, with chewing gum, right? I know you're using chewing gum as an example. What is the point of chewing gum?
Oh, let's get into this.
Why was chewing gum invented?
It's a really good question. I missed
You
the
know?
start of the video, so I don't know.
Oh. That's what I was hoping.
So the whole point.
That's what I was hoping for.
So it was a mixed video
'Cause it's
experience.
minty, right?
Is
It's
what I'm
minty
saying.
or it's
It
bubblegum
could be
flavored.
tons of different
Bubblegum
flavors.
has
Yeah.
its own flavour.
I think, radical point of view, I think it was always intended to be a bit of a fashion thing. Like seeing someone going, chewing. It's kind of cool, isn't it?
Do you think the
James
first time,
Dean.
first time
exactly.
someone saw someone chewing gum, just like flapping those lips,
Someone was like, that looks so
Something
cool.
like that.
one bit of that. Yeah.
Devil May Care chewing.
Yeah. You can be like a right fucking rebel.
Yeah.
I've never gone into it.
No,
No,
me neither.
No, I can't because like I like the mint, and then
I like the mint, but then I could just have a mint.
You could have a mint.
Yeah.
Also,
But it goes off like really quickly. It tastes
of
horrible.
nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Just
pretty
your
much.
own mouth,
Yeah.
which is bad.
Which is the reason
I've
I put gum
never-
in there in the first place. is 'cause
Yeah,
it's there.
exactly. I've never learned to blow bubbles with bubblegum.
No,
Never
same.
been able to do that.
I needed to have a whole packet in my mouth to do it.
A whole pack of bubblegum
Yeah.
in your mouth.
And then I get the tiniest bubble you've ever seen.
As a kid, there were a ton of cartoons where a character blowing bubblegum was
Bigger than their
almost
head.
like a superpower.
And then
Bigger
they'd
than
float
their
off.
Yeah, they do all
Hang
kinds
on,
of
yeah,
different.
inside
Yeah.
their mouth.
That was a thing, yeah.
On this video, they had footage of the Guinness World Record holder biggest
Was it
bubble.
big.
Well, yeah, it was pretty big.
How big?
Bigger
Baby's
than
head?
their head.
Bigger than her head.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Oh,
she'd
it's a lady.
she'd be chewing it, and she looked quite like 80s. She had like a big like bouffant hair.
Yeah.
But then she'd blow a tiny bubble and
Yeah.
then pinch for sides. And
Oh,
then
that's
she'd,
legal, is it?
Oh.
well,
That's a legal move.
but then she'd blow and then pull the sides, and it would turn into like
Oh, very
a
clever.
big old bubble, bigger than her head. Yeah.
The trick was to just wrap it round your tongue, basically, and then you
What, top and bottom?
top and bottom, wrap it all the way round, and then go from there.
You're saying this like it's a normal.
That was the trick. And I'm
Right.
saying this with bearing in mind, I took a whole packet of
Yeah,
gum
you're saying this is
and
a
blew,
ma-
I can't emphasize this enough.
You're saying
The
it-
smallest bubble,
Also,
like the size of a ping pong ball.
who the
maybe.
fuck came up with bubblegum? Like, you're already saying who fuck came up
Yeah,
with chewing
yeah,
gum. That's
yeah.
a valid question. But imagine taking that concept and going,
Bubblegum.
wouldn't it be interesting if people could blow bubbles
Mm.
with this?
It's grotesque.
That's a
Yeah,
weird
it's
leap.
yeah. I have to assume that like somebody saw some disgusting like 1950s child blowing a bad bubble
Yeah.
with chewing gum, and then was like, "Oh, what if we made an
What if
inferior
they're
product?"
at the AGM
and-
for chewing gum. What do we do next? How do we innovate this
Yeah.
product? They blow bubbles with it, I guess.
I did learn that apparently bubblegum is like 10% of the chewing gum market.
Bubblegum is 10% of chewing gum.
Yeah, chewing gum is the big
King.
one. Yeah, bubblegum still kind of clings on.
It's on its coattails. Yeah.
It's a real scourge of society as well. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's pretty
Gum
gross.
is-
Yeah.
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
all over our pavements. It's all over our bins. It's all over our desks.
Thing is, I don't feel like I see that many people with chewing gum now. So where's all the chewing gum coming from?
It's all over the
You know?
roads.
It's
Excellent
all
question.
over the
Yeah.
roads. It's all over the pavements. It's on like if you go on the tube, it's all under all the banisters. It's
Oh, it's
gross.
gross.
Ugh.
Imagine just spitting something out that's
Put it
been
in
your
the
mouth
bin,
and
yeah.
then jamming it onto a seat.
I
You
can't.
animals.
I've definitely seen it. I've walked past it somewhere in my life, and I can't remember if it was in like Canada or somewhere in the UK. But there was like a wall or a thing in a public space that had become a de facto,
Oh yeah.
almost like chewing gum sculpture.
People
'cause-
were just blonking it on.
Blonking it
Yeah.
on, and like yeah,
You
like
gotta blonk it.
But if I blonk a bit of chewing gum onto that sculpture,
Yeah.
I'm kind of touching everyone else's old chewing gum as well.
yeah. Oh,
for fuck's
And then, like, I think once a year, like, a man who was paid not enough would come in a hazmat suit and, like, scrape it all
Get
off,
it, get it together, guys.
chuck it in the ocean.
Gets a payday twice a year to do that.
Yeah, it's the fish's problem now.
Do you remember Hey Arnold?
I do.
Didn't
Yeah.
he chew gum? Wasn't that a thing about him?
Was
Did
it
he
bubble
chew
gum?
gum?
Or was it bubble gum? It was bubble gum.
I remember him blowing bubbles.
Because I remember, yeah, that's right. Because there's an episode. There's that girl who's obsessed with him,
Helga.
Helga,
She pretends to hate him, but she's actually
She's actually in love
and
with
she's
him.
got a little shrine that she's made to him. And
Oh, no.
in it is a little statue made of bubble gum that she's stolen when he sticks it on.
That's
things.
disgusting.
And she's made a little model of him out of his
I-
bubble gum.
I think I want to die.
Yes. Luckily, it's a cartoon.
It can't hurt you.
Well,
It can't.
It's weird. Like, you, like, watch stuff as a kid and you're like, you didn't, like, question it. And you also didn't learn anything from it. Because it's weird, like, in recent years, like, I've discovered that, like, Hey Arnold was, like, the whole point was it's about kids living in New York.
Yes.
New York.
But I didn't get any of that because
No.
I didn't see because they're all sat on the steps, aren't they? The stoops.
Yeah,
and
the
stuff.
stoops, yeah.
And like they make a big thing of that. The intro is him walking down a New York street. But when I watched it as a kid, it's just like
Yeah.
I don't know how to word this. But it's just a cartoon.
Yeah.
Literally, we just watched cartoons. They
Yeah.
were just cartoons. I wasn't learning anything about New York.
no.
Do you know what I mean? What the fuck were you even thinking? Like, shut up.
Well, I guess the flip side would be, like, as a kid, you know, you'd watch, like, any kind of show just because it was a show.
Yes.
And you'd watch shows
It was
about,
irrelevant.
like,
Oh, yeah.
people of all different races, all different backgrounds. And, like, it's kind of, on the one hand, incredibly, like, encouraging because it just means, like, a kid will consume anything and they don't care. They're not judging people. But on the other hand, they're not learning anything
You can
either.
just imagine that the executive producers and all the producers of the show were so proud of what they were doing. It's like, we've got a real diverse
Yeah,
cast.
yeah.
You know, it's like all walks of life. And the kids are just like, it is cartoon I consume.
is cartoon.
Like, I'll just watch it. I don't give a shit. Oh, have you learned anything about race? No!
It doesn't matter.
Recent shows, the kids are really engaging with Hey Arnold because it's on at 4 p.m. on a Monday. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah, what else have we got? Oh, well, we put Turtles on at 4 p.m. on a Monday.
Why do you think they watch it? It's because they're awake. That's why.
Yeah. It's because they're there. It's because they're there. Now, I can't emphasize enough how much I know the difference between Hey Arnold
Oh, here we go.
and Hey Arthur.
Well,
I know the difference. I know the difference.
No.
I can't emphasize enough.
Wait.
No.
No.
I can't imagine.
It wasn't called Hey Arthur.
Yeah, it was. What?
It was just called Arthur, wasn't
No,
it?
I don't think so. Hey
he's not.
Arthur.
No, he's not wrong though.
What's he not wrong about?
No, literally,
As in you confused the two.
As in, there were two shows on.
I
it.
know the difference. Right.
yeah.
I'm telling you this now. I know the difference. Whenever I think of Hey Arnold, I sing the Hey Arthur theme tune. I
Yeah.
can't think of the Hey Arnold theme tune. At all, because I always sing the Hey Arthur one when I think of that show.
Because
I said, "Hey, what a wonderful
That's
time!"
Arthur.
That's I know.
Yeah.
I don't know the Hey
Yeah,
Arnold.
he knows
theme
that.
tune.
Yeah, he knows.
I told you. I know the difference. I've told you.
I said like.
But I don't know the Hey Arnold one because I just sing Hey
Yeah.
Arthur.
It was
But-
just called Arthur.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
just looked it
But-
up now.
but
Why
as,
do I? Oh, I
but as a
kid.
kid in the late
Fuck.
90s, on British TV at the same time, Arthur
Arthur's still on.
and Hey Arnold were both being aired.
Arthur's still on.
Yeah.
My niece watches Hey Fucking Hey Arthur.
Having fun.
Maybe it's because DW says hey to him in the intro.
True.
Does she?
She says hey.
Having fun isn't hard when you've got a library card. That's from Arthur.
What is it
Yeah, that's a line from Arthur.
Yeah.
in the song?
I think someone's... Because there's a song in every episode, isn't there?
It's a simple message.
No, here we go.
And it comes from the heart. Believe in yourself. That's the place to start. And I said, hey, what a wonderful time of day.
Well,
You can learn to work and play. That might be it.
there are quite a
Work
few
and
hays.
play.
Yeah. Actually,
Hey.
a lot
And
of
get
characters.
along with each other.
Was that the message of Arthur? That we're all meant to get along with each other?
Yeah,
But
I
I-
think
but
I
I'm
think
picturing-
Arthur was a lot more kind of like you could imagine
Wholesome.
taking a kid to a public library and there'd be a book called
Yes.
Arthur Learns How Not to Steal.
How
Yeah.
not to racist.
But if I'm thinking of the Hey Arnold program,
Yeah,
I'm thinking of that theme tune. I couldn't tell you what the Hey
yeah.
Arnold
The
theme tune.
the message of Hey Arnold was get out of my fucking way.
Yeah.
Didn't Hey Arnold live in a fucking banging New York loft as well?
Yeah.
That would have cost
What,
$250,000
not
a
with,
month.
not with his parents.
No, he was raised by his grandparents,
but,
But
did
he
live
lived,
with, did
he
he
lived
live-
in the top of their house.
Oh, I see.
And he had
which
this
was a
sweet-
guest house.
Was it?
Yeah,
Good knowledge.
That was the whole thing.
But he had this
see.
amazing glass roof.
Yeah.
Honestly, it was incredible.
I think it was meant to be like when Arthur is in Aardvark and he teaches us how not to do a racist, we go, that's great.
Don't do a racist.
That's the point of the show.
Arthur was an aardvark?
Yeah,
Yeah.
big time.
Looks like...
Wait, no, he was. Was
was
he?
an Aardvark.
Was he an Aardvark?
Yeah, he's an Aardvark. Yeah.
I
He's an
remember
Aardvark.
every detail about Hey Arthur.
He looks like he doesn't like.
It's Arthur!
No, it's not. No, it's not.
He doesn't look like he got a bear though, does
He
he?
does look like exactly
Yeah.
like a
He
bear.
doesn't have the long nose.
He doesn't have a long nose. That's
He
a very
just-
good point.
just-
Yeah.
He looks
round.
nothing like an aardvark.
But then his
No.
teacher's a rat who does have a long nose.
A rat!
His teacher's a rat.
Wow!
Rat bastard.
I think
That's what
John's
he is.
racist towards rats.
Oh, it didn't work.
It taught me the wrong thing! It taught me racism!
But you know, like you watch Arthur, Hey Arthur.
No.
And it's like, oh, what's happening in this episode? Oh, you know, DW is being a pain and they've got to get ready for the swim meet.
Yeah.
And then you watch like Hey Arnold. It's like, I don't know, Hey Arnold's got a gun. They were like, yeah, all right.
Dodging bullets on the west side! We're going up to Brooklyn to settle a score.
Hey Arnold, let's do this.
I think Hey Arnold had like a kind of, as a theme song, it didn't really have like lyrics. It was just like a kind of like do ba ba ba.
Yeah, I think it was. It was a bit...
And then it ended with Helga going, "Hey, football head."
Oh, I remember Football Head.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Isn't it funny that both Hey Arnold and Arthur, not Hey Arthur,
Hey Arthur.
both had a mischievous and irritating young female
A
character?
cantankerous
and
woman.
That DW and Helga were both
Yeah.
like shits.
Yeah.
And Angelica from Rugrats.
I did not care for Rugrats and their disrespectful attitude.
I watched a lot of Rugrats, weirdly.
What
I
does
don't
that
know.
even mean?
As in, the children.
I like Rugrats.
Even when I was a child, the children in Rugrats annoyed me because they knew nothing. I mean,
They
and
were
didn't-
babies.
Yeah, and they refused to learn.
Phil and
I
Lil?
meant Phil and Lil. But they were both girls, right?
No, I think the point was one was a boy, one
Yeah,
was
I
a
think
girl.
they were
But they dressed the same. That was the joke.
roughly the same.
Yeah.
I see, I understand.
And
Uh,
Reptar.
I remember the Rugrats theme tune.
Everyone remembers the
yeah.
I
Rugrats.
said, hey, what a wonderful time of day.
There is
You
2
can
copyright
learn
strikes.
to work and play.
It's alright. As long as we don't do 3, we'll be alright.
Yeah.
There you go. I got a hate.
Yeah,
All
go
right,
on.
please take us home.
Taxi drivers. Don't like
Oh.
taxi drivers. Don't like taxis on the road.
They make up our biggest demographic of listeners.
Taxi drivers?
Yes,
They
taxi
got a lot of
drivers.
time.
They do have a lot of
They got a lot of time.
I still getting through a lonely night.
I was driving the other day in my car, and I saw a taxi, and I made a mental note. I was like, I've never got along with taxi drivers.
Yeah.
They think they own the road.
Is it
For
because...
starters,
Well,
when you're
okay.
driving around, they think they own the roads,
Right.
and
I think they do think that.
they do think that.
Partly
They,
because I think they do.
they drive around all day, so they think, oh, I own this road. I'll do what I want. Whatever. I'll do what I want.
Do you take issue with them when you are behind the wheel of your car or when you are drunkenly
passenger.
arguing with them at 2 a.m?
Both.
Oh, okay.
Although the latter hasn't happened very much in the last few years.
Very much.
But certainly,
Has
I was
happened a
talking to
bit.
Liz about it before I came, because I always get her to vet my hates, just in case they're too much.
Yeah.
Have they been sometimes?
Oh, sure.
Oh my god. I hate the Caribbean people.
Yeah. Of course, a lot of them. Oh no! No, I've I've been to Grenada. I loved it there.
Might have to bleep that out.
Met a man called George.
Sure.
Good bloke. Liked him a lot.
And he gave you a special badge.
Yeah.
That proves you're not racist.
Yeah, not racist.
That's how it works.
Yeah, exactly. No, I think that's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, we can.
I think that's fine.
Okay, sail through that one. So back to your hatred of another minority group.
They're not a minority group, not on the roads. They're a majority group on the roads.
Certainly near the train station.
Yeah,
Yeah.
certainly near the train station. Now, it's a bit of
Loads
both.
of them.
I don't like when I'm driving around. I suppose now I don't like when I'm driving around and, they pull out or they change lanes and don't indicate or whatever those various traffic offences are. But I think it goes back to when I used to go around the country and take taxis a lot of places. Mm-hmm. And the level of service to cost was very poor.
Indeed.
Very poor. Very, very
I
poor.
mean, when you threw up on the back of that guy's head,
Never happened.
He didn't even.
Never
He
actually
didn't even
happened.
offer you a wet wipe, did he?
Never happened. I've never
Splattered
thrown up
onto his ball pack.
on or in a taxi. I don't think.
I don't think. That was a quick caveat at the end there.
As opposed to a dance floor.
Which I have.
Yeah, I know. I've seen.
Every time I get in a taxi, I just feel like I'm getting scammed. Every time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
you're watching that clock.
I am essentially
Yeah.
getting scammed.
Every single time I'm watching that.
Yeah.
I've not been in a taxi for a long time now, and I don't see a reason why I would again anytime soon. To be honest, because I walk much more for a start now.
We got a taxi.
So expensive.
We got a taxi in Liverpool.
Yeah.
After, when we went there in January, which was very nice, very wet. But we got a taxi home because it was a long walk and it was very wet and very cold because it was January in Liverpool.
That's so weird.
And it was like going back to a different time, going like, oh
What do
god,
they charge you? I bet you were upset.
a fair amount.
Yeah.
yeah.
£38 for
But
2
you
minute
go like, oh god, yeah, how do taxis work? It's
Yeah.
been so long.
And there's no customer service in taxi drivers. They just literally either give you the silent treatment. You'll meet some
To be
nice
fair,
ones.
I don't want him to talk to me.
Yeah, but and that's fine. The silent treatment. But I've had an argument with a taxi driver
No.
about where he was taking me before. That was all him. I got in the cab at the train station. I said I want to go to wherever I was living at the time, and I probably could have walked it. Fair, fine.
Sure.
But then he's taken the fare. He spent the whole journey going, I've got to make a living, I've got to make a living. I can't be doing these kinds of journeys all the time if I want to make a living. And it's like, well, don't take the fare then. Don't take the fare.
What, he was complaining at you?
He was complaining to me about having to take me a relatively short distance.
What the fuck?
I think it was a Saturday or a Friday, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And he was just like, I've got to make a living, Don't take the fare then. Don't take. And at the time, I stayed quiet because I was young and impressionable.
Yeah.
And now
you want to be a taxi driver.
Now I want to find him.
And track him down.
Now I want to find him. But I'd say something now. That's my point. I would say something. I'm like, come on, mate. Let's just what I'm paying you for what you're doing. You're doing all right.
Yeah, I'm
You know
not
what I
paying
mean?
enough for conversation. Yeah.
I'm not paying enough. I'm paying far too much for this service you're providing me.
Imagine if you just opened the door and tucked and rolled.
Yeah.
Doubled up.
That happened once in Iron Appa. I got out of a moving cab.
Fucking hell.
It was parking and I got out too early. And obviously I was fine. But yeah, I did sort of stumble a bit on the way out. That was like
that's because you'd had like a shandy.
Couple of jars.
before.
It might be because I was absolutely smashed and it was 5 o'clock in the morning. But,
Ali was on a business trip and she was at an airport and they'd arranged a taxi to come pick them up and take them to where they were going because they were in Europe somewhere.
Yeah.
And this taxi drove past in front of them and then it sort of turned around, did a U-E, and then it came close to where the taxi rank was. And there was like a concrete pillar. It just went the side of that down the entire length of the taxi. And Ali was just like, hope that's not ours. And then he just stopped, get out, was just like, Alice? They had to drive with him, and he was terrifying. Apparently, he was just like a fucking menace on the road, like out of control. He just literally in front of them fucked it, just completely fucked it.
That's so good.
It's brilliant.
I mean, the amount you pay, as well as being a lot, is quite variable.
Oh,
as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
Like, I've had, quite recently, I've had someone, well, say recently, about a year or so ago, someone gave us a lift from Forest Green Rovers to the local train station.
Forest Green Rovers.
And he went, and that was what I would say that was probably a 15-minute journey.
Yeah.
And there were maybe 6 of us.
Yeah.
He went, that'll be 60. 60 Fucking 60. And he wanted cash as well.
Of course
He was
he
like,
did,
oh,
yeah.
otherwise my lady wife won't be eating this Christmas. I said, well, mine won't now. I didn't pay it. I said, we've got 30 here. I'm not giving you any more than that. He went,
Yeah.
yeah, all right then.
60
Yeah, because he knew he was
quid.
taking the piss.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he knew he was taking the piss. I was like, we've got 30 cash. You can have that, and you can fuck off.
Yeah, because
Whereas I think years ago, I probably would have paid it.
Yeah.
I'd gone to a cash
Yeah,
point
yeah.
and probably paid
But also,
it.
That's another
what's-
crazy
what-
expectation as well. We don't have cash anymore.
Well, no. And what's he going to do? Like, keep you hostage in
Yeah.
the car
Yeah,
until
it,
you...
was, it was a mad situation where he turned around and went 60, and we couldn't believe it. We were just like, we're not giving him 60, are we? And then everyone
Jesus
went, no.
Christ, yeah.
So they just make it up, and it's just like, give me a fair price for a fair service. You're taking me somewhere relatively local. Don't take the piss. Don't argue with me while I'm in the car.
About how bad a living it is to be a taxi driver.
Yeah, I think everyone's got a bad story about a taxi driver, and I don't know anyone who's gone, oh, I really like taxi drivers.
I
Actually,
love taxi drivers.
generally speaking, I really
Well,
like them, and I've never had a bad experience.
I'm devil's angel's advocate. I'm just going to say,
Oh, I like
it.
well, you know what? Everyone's just trying to make their way in the world.
But
But you
then-
do find yourself
don't take the
playing
piss.
when you are in the back of a taxi. You are like playing that mental game with you're trying to beat the clock.
Yeah.
You'll have a little timer.
You started that sentence very positively, and then you started finger.
Yeah, well, I
wagging,
mean,
which
that
kind
immediately
of proves my
Yeah,
point.
that's called covering your ass.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, but yeah, like the moment that ticker, I've never ordered an Uber.
Well, I mean, I'm including Uber in this, and I'll tell you why.
Tell me why.
I'll tell you for why.
Okay, thanks.
We've been in London before, Liz and I.
Oh, someone's moving up in the
I
world.
know,
Fancy.
because we're doing all right. So we stayed at a hotel in London, and we were going somewhere. I can't remember. Probably
Yeah.
to the station. And the Uber was like tracking all the way. So basically, how you order an Uber, John, is you put in where you are.
Sure.
You're already logged in,
Okay.
and you put your location in, and the app tells you how far away they are, what the cost is, and it's a set cost, and you pay that at the end of the journey.
Sure.
That's how Uber works.
Automatically charged, one would imagine.
Yeah, you put your PayPal in or whatever
Yeah.
into your account, and it just charges you. As long as there's no problems, happy days. So put our location in, which was outside a travel lodge somewhere, going to wherever we were going. I can't remember. And you can track it in real time. So they're coming down the road. Here he comes. Oh, I can see him. There he is. Just drove off. Just drove off. What the hell's that?
Well, surely he has.
Why
He's
is he?
gotten all the way there.
And then saw us and drove off.
Something about you.
Must
Me
have
wearing
been
that
something-
racist t-shirt.
Must have
again.
been something about us. Well, a lot of them don't speak the language. You know. You know what I mean? You'll bleep that out, right?
Oh, fine, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but
He's
but
a sweetheart, everyone. He's not really. He doesn't really.
This is an act. I'm just
Yeah, he's
doing this
he's playing
I've
a
been doing this
part.
to be bawdy.
He's playing a
Yes,
bit.
I'm
Yeah.
being bawdy. So yeah, he literally looked at us, drove off. I'm like, well, why keep the tracking on? Why turn up if you're not going to take the fare for whatever reason?
Do you think that
That's
was?
bizarre.
It was
to get
Liz-
all that way.
Liz said it's happened to her before.
Do you think doing that every now and then adds a certain spice to your day?
No, because I need
As
to
a-
be.
No, I don't mean
As
you.
an
I
Uber
mean
driver.
I don't need-
as an Uber driver.
Makes him
maybe
feel
as,
alive.
maybe as an
Yeah.
Uber driver, perhaps. For me, I don't need more jeopardy in my day.
He might be wanking.
If I order a taxi at a certain time to get me somewhere at a certain time at a certain cost, I just want that to happen. I don't want to be guessing after. I
No,
ordered the
no,
cab.
quite,
I don't want to
yeah,
be thinking,
yeah.
oh, it might not turn up.
Oh, it's like roulette.
I think what's
I get enough of that with trains.
no. I think
That's true.
what's
Lol.
important here is that I clearly just like don't go anywhere or do enough because
Why? Because you're watching chewing gum videos.
yeah, yeah, that'll do it.
That'll do
yeah.
it.
That's so, there's too much about taxis that I don't like. Haven't liked historically. Don't like now. Probably won't like in the future. Don't plan to take a taxi again. Probably will. Probably won't like it.
No.
There we go.
So now you finally got that off your chest. Off your chest.
Off your chest.
And on to mine.
Would you like to kick the poor working man anymore?
But they're not poor.
You know?
They're not poor. Working
Oh, a
men.
lot.
Here
A lot
we
of
go.
taxi drivers are actually quite rich.
But they're richer than me. Probably. Some of them. The people who own the taxi firms are. I bet you.
But they're doing all right.
Bet you.
They're
Creaming
doing.
it off the top.
They're doing
Yeah.
proud.
I'll tell you what, though. I do like that I walk more now.
Indeed.
I was very lazy when I came back from, let's say, Gillingham. You could also say the pub. Pissed off my head.
Both.
And just thinking, I'll just get a taxi to the short distance to where I'm going.
Sure. Yeah.
Whereas now I'm like, I always walk. I might end up in a hedge, but I'll always walk. You know what I'm saying?
And it shows. I mean, you look,
Incredible.
Look, at least $50.
yeah, like
At least.
every mile you travelled is there on your face.
Which is ironic.
That's
this
not
is
a
a
compliment.
This is a $60 hat, so I should look more than that.
Oh,
it's not.
I was going to say you've been ripped off.
No, this was a £12 hat.
Ripped off.
yeah.
Clearly, because my eyesight isn't what it was. I honestly thought it said barley. You were just wearing a hat that said
it says
barley.
Barley.
Oakley.
He's got his barley out on again.
Like you'd been to some kind of farming
Well, I
convention.
bought this
or...
for holiday because we're going on holiday
Ooh,
next week.
a lot of taxi drivers can't afford to go on.
But they can. No, they can. They can afford to go on holiday.
They're
Sure,
just too
yeah.
busy driving people around.
They're too busy. They're too busy. They enjoy it. That's the thing. Probably.
For driving.
They love it.
Apart from that one guy I met, and
Yeah.
the one guy who drove off,
Objectively hates it.
and other taxi drivers.
I would
I've argued
love
with.
to know why that guy drove off.
Yeah, what was it about you that kind of...
I had an encounter the other day. I think I may have told you about
Here we
this
go. There's
before,
going to be more
off air.
taxi drivers.
No, it
stories.
wasn't taxi driver related. It was a random. So I was walking home from work, and I saw a guy on the other side of the road coming towards me, and he looked like a bit chavvy. And he crossed over to be my side of the road and walked towards me.
Yeah.
And my brain instantly went into like catastrophizing mode. It was
Sure.
like something's going to happen here. And usually my brain does that and then just walks straight past me. But he didn't. He stopped and he went, "Excuse me, mate." And I went, "Here we go." And I was literally tense.
Here we go. Yeah.
And then he just went, "Actually, don't worry about it." And he walked on.
Mm.
I was like, why do you stop a person and go as far as to stop? He stopped me and say the words, "Excuse me, mate."
Mm. Maybe he saw your muscles.
Well, that's what I was thinking.
I love this podcast. Well, like the funny thing is
Okay.
it's kind of weirdly a reasonable thing. Like
I
to
wouldn't,
assume,
I wouldn't rule that out.
look, right, that he had misread his mark because he was clearly
Yeah.
he looked fucking shifty as fuck, right? He was clearly planning to do something. What the fucking plan was, because usually the plan, it wouldn't be a good idea to start it with "Excuse me, mate," because I'm prepared.
Well, you've talked about it on air before, that like clearly you exude...
Chavs love me.
You
They do.
a Scally's dream, basically.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I look like someone they can get lunch money
Yeah,
out of.
because you exude a kind of soft boy, arty type vibe.
I think I do, yeah.
But that was the Nick of old. And now,
I think that's it.
now this new Nick who's worshipping at the Iron Church like every
And I
morning.
exuded my aura.
I think
Just
they
engulfed him.
They get close to you, they see your firm up top, and they're like, you know, I'm not going to take him on.
Fucking Nacho of a dude.
Yeah,
Yeah, so from afar they probably saw like your Pokemon, like your little Pokemon Tamagotchi.
You know, yeah,
And they're like, oh,
yeah,
look
sure,
at this
yeah.
sad, wheezy boy. I bet
but
we
then,
can
they see you can crush it in your bare hands.
Yeah,
and
and
they're
I
like,
did.
No, I won't.
And then I
won't.
ate it.
I won't. Yeah, then that's it for just the sustenance.
It's just like that.
Yeah,
If I
Yeah,
saw
what-
a man eat a Tamagotchi.
and then you just rip your t-shirt open.
Is that not the
And then
greatest
that's-
show of
that's when
power
he-
ever?
That's when he goes, oh, never mind.
Yeah, Ashley, never mind.
You left out that key detail in the middle where you crush the Tamagotchi and rip your shirt.
But it's
off.
like mysterious encounters with people, right? Because
Yeah.
that Uber driver, don't know what the fuck's going through his head,
yeah,
but he pulls, basically sees you, drives on. Don't know, right?
Yeah.
This guy clearly had some kind of plan, and then he was like, "Actually, never mind."
Yeah.
And it's fucking weird to me. Like something there's another timeline where
Well,
something happened.
we've been trained to expect the worst.
Yes,
Could have been, for all we know, could have been a really heartwarming encounter. Just didn't
but then
happen.
why bail on that
Because you scared him off
with my aura?
with your muscles.
I think your muscles scared
your
him.
Sigma.
One way or the
energy.
other, I think your muscles scared him.
Yeah.
Okay, well, if it's my muscles, I'll take it.
It's interesting the different vibes we all kind of project to members of the public. Because I clearly project the vibe of like maybe he helps collect cash after church on a Sunday or something. Because I get so many people just going like, "Excuse me, young man, what's the time?" Or
Oh, you get a lot of that. Do
you know,
Yeah, I very rarely get
no
that.
one asks me.
could
for
you
the time.
donate
Yeah.
plasma for me?
Sure.
Yeah,
I just keep walking.
yeah,
They look at you
That's
and they
the
think
trick.
you're a friendly, helpful man.
yeah,
Don't break stride. If anyone approaches you, never break stride.
yeah.
They can if it's that urgent, they'll keep
They'll
following
run.
you.
Yeah. Well, take the calipers off.
I mean, the one thing I was thinking when this guy said it to me is just like, when is the right moment to swing? Like
You've
'cause-
changed.
Yeah, well, no. If anything, I've always thought like this.
Yeah.
But I just never really successfully landed
It's
anything.
the right moment.
But it's like, I was so sure he was going to do something like fucked, like weird. And I was like, if I'm already thinking about retaliating, then I'm more likely to do it, because the number of times I've been hit before by strangers, which numbers fairly high, frustratingly.
Yeah.
I have been so surprised by it that I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Sure.
Right. So I was thinking this time, and other times when nothing happened, I'm not going to be surprised this time.
No, I'm ready.
And maybe I was flexing
Maybe
unconsciously.
Maybe
But
you
this
were
is-
doing something.
But this is the difference between all of us. Like, maybe like they wouldn't start something with Chris Ray because he looks like the kind of man who start an argument with a taxi driver.
Yeah,
you
like
know,
hit you with a bag of gravel or something. Yeah.
But then,
Will again.
but then they clearly they look at, say, the Yous and I's Nick of the world, and they go,
Yeah.
"This man is no threat. If anything, he is a victim."
He's
and
a mark.
then they'll punch you, and then for me, they look at him and they go like, "Oh, he's so just." He's like a blade of grass, you know. Like there's no, I can't even bring myself to rob him, you know.
I don't know what's worse.
Yeah,
everyone
I
just,
know, yeah,
everyone
it's
just
hard to
pats me
say.
on the back and sends me on my way.
Yeah.
Well done.
They give you a $5. They just nicked off Nick.
Yeah, it's a pity fiver.
Give
Give me a
his
packed
$5.
lunch.
Yeah.
In a brown
Go on,
paper
you
bag.
take it.
Go on, treat yourself.
Yeah.
Well, anyway,
Yeah, just
people are weird.
Yeah, people are weird, and I don't like taxi drivers, so you know.
Okay.
Should we get these loaves out the way?
Get
Get
the
these
way,
bloody
get 'em out of
loaves!
the way.
Get these
So,
bloody loaves out of the way.
My love is, I love it when your pet has been up to some shit that you didn't know they were doing, and then you find the evidence of it later.
Nice.
So we get our toilet roll delivered. I don't know why that's funny.
Jesus Christ. Rarefied earth.
In a large box.
Yeah,
TikTok toilet roll.
TikTok, what's that?
There's cheap toilet roll on TikTok.
So no, it's not that, but it's
I've heard
like
about
that,
this.
I think.
Yeah.
So we get a big box of toilet roll, massive, huge, like unbelievably large box of toilet roll every month.
Yeah.
Right, it's like a subscription.
Everything all right? Is it?
Now that I've got the toilet roll.
I get that special wide paper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
9 ply.
For my ass. Yeah.
It's for my ass.
My delicate ass.
Sure.
And we were restocking the bathroom with toilet rolls from the box.
And the defences.
A lot of ammunition required.
Yeah.
And all of the toilet rolls had claw marks in them.
I see.
And clearly Dashi had gotten into the box of toilet
that was
rolls
for shit getting out.
Yeah. Oh no.
and fucked them all up.
Oh.
They're still usable.
What a lad.
They just grate a little on the anus now.
Yeah. That's more rough than you want, really, isn't it?
But it's
Yeah.
just, it's kind of funny because we never knew he'd even been in there,
Yeah.
and then now
Funny
there's this
later.
little bit of it's like footprints in the butter, you know. It's like he's left a little secret for us,
Mm.
and it kind of paints this picture of the story of adventures that he gets up to
Yeah,
that we
yeah,
have no
yeah.
concept of at all. And I found that kind of funny.
It's funny. It's funny when it's that. I remember getting home and the stairs on the stair carpet had been ripped off, clean off by the dog
Oh
when she was a puppy.
Wow.
So that wasn't quite as funny.
no,
It's funny now.
It's not as cute.
Do you think did your dog know shame at the time?
Oh, at the time, no. Now she knows.
Yeah, because the thing with certain dogs, when they've done something wrong, they'll
Yeah.
self-punish themselves.
Yeah.
They'll do it, and then they'll go and sit on the naughty step
No, I don't
because
think
Preparatively.
So
Yeah.
at the time, I don't think so.
I was dog sitting for my family this week, and one of the dogs decided to tear apart a cuddly toy
No.
and then take a big mouthful of fluff
Sure.
out of the creature, out of this little toy.
Yeah.
And when I was like, "Give it here," he legged it
Yeah.
because he thought this
Doesn't
was.
respect you, John.
No, I don't. I don't.
He'd have punched me.
Think he really respects anyone. Yeah, and so he ran behind the sofa, and I went to get him, and he ran around the other side. He thought this was
Classic.
tremendous fun.
This is like Looney Tunes. This.
Yeah, the other dog, you say, bad
Yeah.
boy, and the other dog's like, "Oh no, what have I
What
done?"
have I done?
But this
Yeah.
little psychopath, then he ran into the kitchen and ran under the table, knowing I couldn't grab him,
Yeah.
and then
Sounds like good fun.
yeah, it was I had to rugby tackle him in the end. He
Yeah.
was like little shit, for lack of a better word. Yeah,
God love them.
that dog had no conscience.
No.
No
So
conscience.
they as they get older, they're much better. But yeah, she used to do that routinely. Rip up the stairs carpet.
Really?
Rip the foam wire out of the wall once.
Wow.
That was interesting, guys.
Fucking hell.
Is that
That's
like-
why we got a crate. So we got a crate for her.
Yeah.
Eventually.
That's why
Don't have
he-
it anymore. Don't need it.
That's why I can get dial up out of a dog's ass.
Yeah. Yeah. Hello.
Hello?
Hello. Ruff-roo. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it, that's me.
Mine's quite simple.
Uh-oh.
I think I like kolf.
Right,
Kolf.
Kolf. KOLF.
Is this a kind of golf?
Yes.
K. So
Is it golf, but you kick?
No.
There is foot golf.
There is,
I play
yeah,
foot
yeah.
golf. Yeah.
Kolf
Golf?
Golf. You said
Golf.
that with a Swedish twang.
Yes.
is a Dutch
There we go. Close enough.
pub game
Oh yeah.
where they will have a special room in the back of a pub.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
This old
Big
chestnut.
room.
Yeah.
Big sex
Big
room.
room.
I mean, just room.
The big golf sex room.
And it has this court, for lack of a better word,
Mm.
slightly sunken into the
With
ground.
a K? Caught with a K?
That's fine.
Kolf with the K.
Caught with a K, though, because that would be fun, because it's Kolf, right?
Well, I don't know.
It's on brand.
I've not been there.
Wow.
I'd have to ask.
Yeah, we'll ask.
But yeah, so you got a big old,
Recessed.
court, if you will, recess, and it's maybe like 6 inches below the ground.
Oh.
But then you'd have your pint and
Oh,
you
sure.
sit on the edge, and then as an old man, you take it in turns to go down onto the Kolf board.
Yeah.
It's basically massive billiards.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So there are two.
How do you move the balls?
Well, with a fucking like a
9-iron.
like a wooden gnarly ass golf club,
Oh.
but thick, and it's got
Yeah.
like a brass hook on the end,
Wow.
almost like a curling.
So you sort of
Yeah.
yeet it rather
Yeah.
than like.
But
cock
like
it.
it's like billiards meets balls, because it's this big green court and then there's two poles poking out of the middle,
Mm,
and it's like you do banking shots.
I see.
So you swing your big club and you
you
hit
played
this
this, or is this something you've seen?
I've just seen it.
You've seen it.
No, I've not been.
There
I've
must
not-
be Kolf somewhere in the UK.
Yeah,
Should find it.
maybe so. Well, you're starting.
Balls.
Balls very soon. That's coming up.
Very excited. I
Yeah.
want you to report back. I want to learn
Yeah.
more.
I
about
always love it
balls.
when you hear about these like regional little games like this.
Hmm.
It's like this is a Dutch thing. It's like, but why don't we have it?
Yeah.
You know, like why is it just there? Because it's clearly fun.
And one of the cool things about it is apparently games can last days.
Mm.
So the whole point is that I mean, like,
That's a lot of beer yourself.
if it's like it's cold, the pub has
Yeah.
multiple rooms, and
on 'em.
you got nothing else going on,
Fuck me,
Go back.
I'd
That
go
does sound,
play
that
golf
does
for a
sound
day.
good. Yeah, that does sound fun.
or 5 days,
Or 5
of a
days.
trot,
5 days
you
of
know?
Kolf.
If you're snowed
Yeah.
in,
I'll see you at the weekend.
Yeah.
yeah.
I really want to hear you report back about balls.
Oh, I will.
I'm quite
Don't
intrigued
worry,
about this.
I'll be reporting back.
We'll come see you when you go to nationals or sectionals or whatever.
I think I might be world class. is the
You've
thing.
said this before.
I think
Yeah.
I might. I think I
Um,
might be.
Why do you think that? Having never played,
It's just a feeling.
I see.
Because
Yeah.
it just feels that, like, anyone who was, say, new to the podcast, which is unlikely because we're not growing, but like
We're not promoting this, are we?
no,
to
we're
the
not
audiences,
promoting this at
surely?
all.
No.
But if
New to the podcast.
if say somebody picks up this and didn't know much about you, they would get the impression that you were a man who belligerently argued with taxi drivers who were just trying to find their way in a hard world,
used to believe.
In a
it.
hard-
and
world.
has an inflated sense of his own achievement.
Thank you.
They would think that.
Yeah. So maybe that paints a picture of someone who's maybe just there's a certain type of person who might act and say these things.
A legend.
Yeah, an absolute fucking legend.
Absolute
Yeah.
hero.
So you think you're going to be incredible at bulls? Is what
I think I
saying.
might be.
You might be world class.
No, I don't know. I
Is
have
it
no
because
idea.
you're 40 years younger than the average player?
That's what I was going to say.
Well, there is that, isn't there?
Yeah.
There is that.
And we can't overstate the importance of that.
No, I think seriously, I think I'll be shit to start with, and then I'll hopefully get the hang of it.
But maybe like an old master will take you under his wing.
Well, I think that's the plan.
And into
The
his
club
pants.
captain is going to give me some tutorials.
How old is he? 98?
Yeah, God knows.
I'm a risk.
Yeah.
That would change.
If he's the club captain, he must have been there a long time.
Yeah.
I
Well, to
guess.
be honest, they're probably very excited to have a young'un.
Maybe.
You know.
Maybe.
I bet they are. I bet they're
Well, they have
over
an open day at the start of May, also. So I'm going to
Well,
go along to that.
I might come along.
Why not?
You know.
Why not? You might be world class.
You never know.
You might be
might be
world class.
world
I've got weak risks, but I've got a
We
shrewd,
could play each other in
manipulative
the
mind.
finals. The finals of the bowls is on BBC. World
Yeah,
finals.
yeah.
That could be us.
Do you think do bulls people feel a kinship with like curling, or do they hate?
Or do they hate
There
them?
might be scraps for all.
So
I know.
rivalries.
I'll try and fact find.
I want to know like quoits, because there's always like different sports that involve just throwing a ball at a different ball.
Well, that is essentially what bowls is, but I think the skill is in actually like swerving it. I don't want to say curling.
Yeah, well,
because
balls are weird because they're like a flattened.
they're flat on the edge.
Yeah.
So you've got to
Yeah, they're like wheels, aren't
you've got
they?
to direct them to a certain extent.
Yeah. I think we've talked about this before, but are you expected to buy or own?
They
your
say
own?
you can buy your own off eBay or whatever because they're cheap.
Yeah.
But they said come along for a bit first, see if you like it, go from there. That's what they've said. So
I was reading about quoits the other day because I watched the movie Clash of the Titans for some reason. I'd like to claim that it was research for Tiny Hercules, but that wasn't the reason I watched it. And then I started reading a Wikipedia article about Perseus, the legendary hero from Greek.
He's a demigod.
He's a demigod.
He's a
Yeah,
demigod.
but he predates Hercules or Heracles. And he's credited with inventing quoits.
What? Yeah. Is that the god? I'm the god of many
what
things.
a credit.
Well, it's like he goes on.
And tell everyone I invented coins.
He goes on 2 quests. One of
Go on
which
a
is the
quest.
famous one where he fights Medusa, and then the huge sea beast that he saves. What's her face from? The woman tied up on the rock. Can't remember her name.
Don't remember that one.
But yeah,
Vera Lynn.
Sure. He saves Vera Lynn from a sea beast.
Sure.
And then he goes on a second adventure,
Right.
which I can't remember what that one is. I read it literally like yesterday, but fuck it, I can't remember. And then he comes home, sort of goes, right, adventuring's behind me. I'm a slightly older man now. I age a bit slower because I'm a demigod. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to invent quoits.
Yeah.
Sure.
He is a fictional character. So he probably didn't invent quoits. Because
What?
quoits is a real thing. And a fictional man can't invent a real thing.
They've fucking hell. So they've credited a fictional character with coming up with an actual game.
Correct.
That's bollocks.
When I think of quoits, I think of French men,
Yes.
maybe with a cassis in their hand,
Or probably a couple of
chucking
pieces.
little silver balls.
Well, quoits is rings, isn't it?
Oh.
Oh, fuck. Now I don't know.
Ooh.
Now I don't know.
Well, you see, now
I
I
thought
not
quoits
sure.
was
I
rings.
may
I'm
have
not
completely screwed this.
Yes.
Quoits is rings.
Quoits is... Hang on. Quoits.
You don't sound convinced.
Quoits. A ring of iron, rope, or rubber thrown in a game to encircle or land as near possible to a peg.
Well, I'm thinking of something else then.
Because we had quoits in PE at school, but we didn't play quoits. We just had a quoit.
Yeah.
And
You got to look at it.
we were allowed
on
to
the Queen's
we were allowed to
birthday.
spend a moment with the quoit. Would you like your moment with the quoit today? Yes.
I'm thinking of a different thing because I feel there's like a French version of balls which is played with little silver balls.
Yes. Fuck me. What's that called?
And it's very different because you don't roll them in the same way. You kind of,
Pétanque?
yeah, why not?
Google silver balls.
French version of balls. I'm just going to write that. I'm sure it's called pétanque.
It's a great air.
It's called balls. That's French. Balls is
But with a
French.
French accent.
Sure, yeah.
Oh no, pétanque. There we go. The game
Pétanque.
itself, known as pétanque, is often referred to as a jeu de boules, game of balls,
Sure.
and it's silver balls.
Silver balls.
So they call that balls, but they also call it pétanque.
Mm.
But our balls, which I think is probably like lawn
balls.
balls,
Yeah,
Yeah.
is slightly different.
I see.
But I think basically the game of roll a thing and then roll other things to close to thing has been done a trillion times.
That's
Yeah.
the basic premise.
I do kind of love it where it suddenly becomes an art. Like, when does it go from
I
just
know.
being like, we're like,
Fuckery.
we're very drunk and it's sunny, and you're just chucking shit at shit, and then it becomes...
It's an actual sport.
Me and my mate Dave invented a sport once when we were drunk, and it was basically we were sat in a very small box room, and in opposite diagonal corners, with our legs out so that our crotches were exposed, and then we each had a handful of balls, and we had to roll them into each other's crotches,
Yeah.
but stop just short of the balls. So it did.
Just shy of the balls.
So it's kind of like balls, but 2-player and with danger added in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's jeopardy there.
and we thought we'd come up with a sport, like a new sport.
Yeah. Balls.
Balls.
Too many balls.
Yes.
Four.
5,
Could call it 4 ball.
4 balls plus.
Well, this has been delightful. Let's spare everyone from this ordeal. What do we think won?
He hasn't said his love.
Hang on.
Why have you not said your love?
Hang on.
I thought you said your love.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. I thought
Trying
you
to
were
cut you
Wait,
off.
were you
Jesus
talking about
Christ.
balls? I thought we were talking about balls or something. I
You
thought
attack the taxi drivers once and you get cut off.
I'm so sorry. Well,
It'll happen
we
again.
jumped from Kolf to whatever you were waffling on about, so I thought that was your love. What's your love?
My love is
Balls.
the Star Wars series. I'm going Star Wars.
Oh.
Andor. Heard of that?
Andor. I've heard of Andor.
I've heard of Andor.
You're not the first person who's raved about Andor to me in this week.
There we are. This week. Well, the second series is out soon, and I've never actually watched the first series
Until...
But you're a Star Wars.
until I'm literally in the middle of it now.
Ah,
Well, not right now. I'm here, but you know.
yeah.
Generally
watching it on your
speaking,
phone.
I'm on like episode 9, I think.
How many
But-
are there?
12?
Oh,
Something like that.
more than I realised.
It's fucking good.
There we go.
Like even beyond the whole Star Wars thing, which obviously I enjoy, it's really good.
I hear people say without hyperbole, that it is the best Star Wars thing.
Yeah, it probably is.
Of all.
It probably is. And I like all the nerdy, fan servicey stuff to a certain extent, and certainly some more than others. But I think you could genuinely watch this if you've got a passing interest in Star Wars and like enjoy it, because it's about the rebellion. It's about how horrible the Empire are and how all these things develop, and it's about that more generally than it is just about Star Wars. It focuses on Andor, who's a character from Rogue One, Cassian Andor.
Yeah.
He's the main character, but it's from watching it, it's more about the rebellion itself, how it affects people, how the Empire affects people.
Which I feel like Star Wars has never done, by the way.
Yeah, it's that kind of ground level stuff of what the actual consequences are for like
The war.
the galaxy, rather than just these guys are evil, these guys are good.
Yeah,
Go for it.
That's what we normally get. It's like
This is what it actually is.
I've never understood, and I'd be interested to know whether Andor tells us this. What do the Empire stand for? You know, like
I think they don't know. That's kind of the thing. They're ruled by fear of some guy, basically.
Yeah.
And they all just bicker and infight. And they do in this show. They just infight with each other. They try and get one up on each other and that kind of thing.
Interesting.
Like the main Empire officer, she's the one who's sort of saying, "There's a rebellion coming."
Yeah.
And I've figured it out, and here's what I've mapped and all that. She sort of shows them how she's been working out how the rebellion are funding themselves and that kind of thing.
Oh shit.
And she's the one who's leading it, and because they're so arrogant and all that, they're just like, nah, fuck this. There's no rebellion. Don't worry about it.
I
Whereas
see.
she's the one who's going, "There's a rebellion coming."
Seriously, watch out.
So she's the one, sort of, she's the antagonist really of the series. But there's lots of different things going on. Lots of stories within stories. He goes on a mission. He ends up randomly, even though he doesn't do anything, ends up in prison.
Yeah, I've heard there's a legendary prison break scene.
It's really fucking good.
Yeah.
Andy Serkis is in it, in the prison bit.
Is
But
he
yeah,
playing Gollum?
He's playing Gollum, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's playing Gollum. Yeah, he
And
reprises
he's wearing
as well.
Jedi. He's wearing Jedi robes.
Star
Yeah.
Gollum.
Yeah, he's playing Space Gollum, yeah.
Yeah, Space Gollum, yeah.
Yeah. No, it's genuinely beyond any Star Wars kind of thing.
Actually,
Very, very, very
actually, a real show.
real show.
for-
And I think critics have said it's really good. From
I
what
do
can
keep
tell.
I do keep thinking about watching it.
Yeah, I've for 2 years it's been out, and I've never got round to it. And I've watched other shows in the meantime, just because they look a bit more, I don't know, Star Warsy and fun.
Yeah, I think it looked a little drier, but I think actually that ends up being its strength.
It's proper. It's proper.
weird
Though.
way.
It's just a good show. If it was not based in Star Wars universe, if it's a thing about how oppression affects everyday people, if it's a show about that, if you
would
take
still
all the
be
space and the Star Wars shit out of it, it would still work. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's worth watching.
Is there a funny, cute alien that I could buy a plushie of?
I don't think so.
Is there
My
a funny,
God.
cute droid?
There is a. It's not a funny, cute droid. It's a droid who lives with Cassian's adopted mum, who was part of the old rebellion. It's not really a cute droid. It's just a droid that's with her.
There's no little baby
Version of a classic
Are there?
Ghoul?
Can I think of any characters from any previous? I don't think so.
What is that baby Yoda called? Everyone.
Grogu.
Grogu. Get that on a bumper sticker.
Everyone loves Grogu.
There are no references. Cassian's obviously in Rogue One.
Are there any Jedis in it?
No Jedi.
Radical. That's pretty radical. That's
yeah.
quite big. Yeah.
It's literally about what the rebellion means, what the Empire means, and what they go about every day.
Interesting.
I've heard good things. I'm
Yeah.
still not going to watch it,
Yeah, well, that's fine.
but I'm glad it brought you some joy
Yeah, well,
as a harried
I
Star
was
Wars
sort
fan.
of, people kept telling me they're like, I'm amazed you've not watched it. You'll love it, and they were right.
Sure enough.
Just never got around to it. Now I have, and I'm glad I
And
have.
Stellan Skarsgård's in it as well, isn't he?
He is. He's quite a fun character. So he's a rebellion. He's sort of one of the antagonists within the rebellion, but he poses as an antiques dealer during the day, and he has secret covert meetings in his antique store with Mon Mothma. She's in it. There you go. There's a
Is it the same woman reprising a role?
from Return
From
of
the
the
original
Jedi.
Return of the Jedi, yeah.
Yeah, no.
She's looking very good for a
I was gonna say,
108.
It's the
yeah.
woman who's in Rogue One,
As
and I
Mon
think
Mothma.
as Mon Mothma. She's also in Revenge of the Sith as Mon Mothma, but her scenes were cut.
Revenge of the Sith as
Episode 3.
God. There's so many movies I can't remember it. Like
So she was a young senator, I think, in Revenge of the Sith, but the scenes got cut out.
sure,
Because who gives a shit?
okay.
Okay.
Well, that's wonderful.
So there you go.
Magical,
Andor.
yeah.
Watch it. Watch
Andor,
it.
check it out.
Check it out. Why don't
Sponsor
you?
of the episode.
Well then,
Andor.
on that note,
Ba-da-boom.
what do we think won? Love or hate?
I'm going with hate.
Yeah.
I kind of feel bad for all the taxi drivers of the world.
They're
They're just trying to make it work. You know?
Well, that's fine, but don't charge too much.
Don't choose a scam job.
Don't be rude. Don't charge too much.
And don't give me a scam job.
Turn up when you say you will. Turn up when that's a song. Turn up when you say you will. And I said, hey.
Okay, no.
What a wonderful
No, we're
time of
kind
day.
of, no one will hear this.
You can learn
no
to
one will
work
hear
and
this.
play. And get along with